I don't know how to start. How I want to start this, but yeah, we should just get right into it. All right, so basically, I've been talking about Scream with Vito Trigo here for the longest. We talk about a bunch of horror films, a bunch of slashers and things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just thought I've always said, oh, we should have guests on Bluray Tuesday, all this kind of stuff. We've been talking about. I've been talking about Scream like nonstop on those episodes. So I said, why don't we do like a little spin-off type of thing? Just do like a whole episode focused on the Scream franchise. So who we have today with us is Vito. If you guys want to know more about him, he's an actor. What else have you done? You did more than acting, right?
Well, it's primarily acting. I mean, but a little bit before I co-produced some, smaller stuff and wrote
Yeah.
and did some choreographing of like action scenes. But other than that, primarily actor.
Yeah.
Let's
And
keep it
my
simple.
first film that I saw you in was Pigpen. And oh my God, like I said earlier, I would not want to get on your bad side. Assassinat was pretty good. And you're in Science Team. And yeah, and we showed the movie Beneath the Black Veil. Yeah, here another hole in the head. And that was, oh, we lost him.
Who
Could you
is
cut around this? Yes. So basically, all right. Yeah. So this is Vito. Awesome. Thank you for having time to talk about Scream with us. All right. So, what's your favorite scary movie?
well, we know mine is mine's Halloween, but I've
Yeah.
always
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always loved Scream. Now,
Hmm.
my first question is like for you, and when we say is like the connection to Scream. You know,
Yes.
my connection to Scream was back in 1996 when it first came out. My sisters came home from college,
Hmm.
and with my brother, we all went to a drive-in,
Okay.
and we saw it in a drive-in, and we did, big screen. My sisters are in there. My sisters, my brother, best audience for a horror movie you could have because they're screaming. They're you're watching the movie, and like the questions and like who is the killer in Friday the 13th? Everyone goes Jason. It's like oh, it's like oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yep.
we're
Yep.
all dead. We're all dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that moment, we're like we didn't survive past this part in the horror movie, basically. So it's
Yeah.
like having that experience of like watching it has always made me like truly love Scream. Besides the
Yeah.
fact that it's a great masterpiece of a film, that
Yeah.
experience is always like I always go back to that. Especially when
Nice.
we were leaving the drive-in, the car
Yeah.
went dead. So
Oh shit.
we're left in this pitch black dark drive-in,
Yeah.
and it's like oh crap, what are we gonna do? We have to wait somebody down to give us. It was like there was a whole very scary. My sisters were not having a good time at that point. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we're dead now. We're dead. I was like, we're dead. We're dead. I don't know how
Yeah.
to, but 1996,
Yeah.
December when it came out, I was like, that's my connection to it. What is your connection to Scream?
Yeah, so in '96, I was a little bit younger. I remember I seen the previews on TV all the time, and I was like, "Oh shit, I want to go see this movie." Like, my little brother and sister weren't really into horror movies and stuff like that, but my sister was like down to go see it too. I just remember I used to bug my mom like, "Oh hey, I want to go check this out." I was a little bit too young, and I did watch a lot of horror. Like, I watched a lot of horror through my aunts. Like, they always like rent like Chucky,
Mm,
Freddy Krueger, and all that kind of stuff. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was the first horror film I watched. I know,
mm.
ironic, but, yeah, and Child's Play I loved, I watched that over and over and over, and then '96 came, I always seen this preview, always seen, like, the phone call, Sydney on the thing falling, I don't know, and then finally, I think when it hit VHS on Blockbusters, when I finally got to see it, me and my little brother and sister, we watched it, and I was terrified because my aunt, like I said, the one that got us into horror, she, like, freaking, like, bought the costume, and we would watch the movie over and over and over, and she would scare us. Like, she would like call the freaking landline, back in the day in the
Oh
'90s,
my.
and she would when we're at home. I used to watch my little brother and sister, and she would call with these obscene calls. She had like a little boyfriend or fuck buddy that she had, I don't know, that was like across the way that would wear the fucking mask and come up to us, and it was insane. Let me tell you, there's another time I remember I was showering. I had to shower before bed, the little kid thing, and yeah, I know all the power went out, and I was just, living my best life, showering, and the power went out, right? And then I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? And then someone bams on the door. So, I'm all like scared. She loves scaring us, by the way. And
I
then
noticed.
the door just
Mhm.
swings open, and she has the mask on, and I like, oh man, I shit myself almost. But no, that shit scared me. So when I was younger, the Scream series for me was kind of scary in a sense, but I loved it. Like I watched that movie
Oh,
over and over and over. Me and my siblings. And I can like freaking quote probably that whole first film. My
Oh,
mom hates it now. Well, not hates it. She loves the series. She actually seen the fifth one with us when I saw it the second time. But no, she was just like, yeah, you guys just watch this movie over and over and over. So for me, that series, and I love whodunits. So like
oh,
guessing, we all play the guessing game and find little Easter eggs when you rewatch. Like, oh hey, let's see, this person must have did this, and we played games like, oh, which one of the killers like killed this person at this time? Like we played. I
ah,
don't know. I was so into that movie, and then every time a new one came out, I was there. Like Scream 2, I saw it in the drive-in. Scream 3, 4, and 5, I saw in the theaters. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my connection. That's where it all started for me. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Like,
So
I love that there's a connection there of like watching it with family, watching it with a group of people, and experiencing it
yeah.
all together. That's like a very like
No, definitely.
very a thing, a little glue factor there. And how crazy
Yeah.
I was into Scream, like with you annoying your family, your mama. So
Yeah. 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 For
I
sure.
had my walls plastered with Scream pictures that I print. I don't know how many ink cartridges I went through when I was a kid because I was just printing it all out
Yeah.
or
Those
cutting it from my
stickers.
sister's InStyle magazines of Nev Campbell.
Yep. Yep.
On my wall. So like I was full blown crazy to the point where I was
Yeah.
actually writing a screenplay because it kind of like
Oh shit.
it got that little like the itch to write and to create
Hmm.
from that.
Yeah.
And I wrote and wrote and wrote and I wrote it and then I realized that I just basically just copied Scream with different character
Got it.
names and different scenarios. I was like, I just rewrote Scream. I did this whole
Do you
big.
do you, do you still have that
It's somewhere in the old house. It's actually called Slasher. I was trying to be clever,
slasher?
but then
Okay.
they make a TV show about it. And I'm like,
Slasher. Yep.
if I
Yeah. I
just
still watch that.
if I just wiggled it around a little bit and made it original, maybe I could have had something on my hands when I was younger. But you know,
Yeah.
I made a sequel script called Slashers later,
Slashers.
like
Oh, okay.
aliens, like aliens.
Oh, I get
This is
it.
young
Okay.
Vito Trigo thinking he's being clever when I'm like I'm just
I
I
wanna
was just
read those.
there might be some clever scenarios and kill stuff
Yeah.
but hey, I don't know, I haven't looked
Is
at
it,
it.
like, based off of the Scream, like, universe, or did you just, like, come up with your own little,
No, no, no. It was
storyline
just one
around
of
it?
those it was just like putting. It was for fun, and I included my friends in there, and they were like characters in it and everything.
Oh, got it. Oh, got it. Okay.
But
Just
at the
like a
end of the
freak.
day, it was still Scream.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Multiple characters. Possible convoluted motive.
Yeah.
It was like just the idea that I loved it so much that when I did it, it was still just Scream. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that I could still figure that
Okay.
out. That I had the self awareness to be like, before I actually let anybody read it, I was like, nope, this is just Scream. It's just Scream.
Nice.
It's just Scream. So
Okay. Nice. So that got you to wanna write and probably got you to where you are now,
yeah,
just watching Scream.
well, it's a little because everybody which goes to one of my questions: what character do you identify with
Oh,
in
that's
the
a good
Scream franchise?
question.
Now, for me as a young
Let's
boy,
see.
it was Randy. You know,
Okay.
you know, knows a lot about movies, doesn't have a
Yeah.
girlfriend. Boom, right there, Randy for me. You know,
I love Randy, and he always comes up in all the films, and he's iconic. No, I guess everyone, a lot of horror fans will probably identify with Randy. I don't know. For me, that's a good question. Who would I most identify with? I don't know because I feel like I like. I don't know. I love Sydney. I love like I feel like that she's like all this shit that comes up against her, all these people that are trying to get her. She's like powerful. She's like strong. Like she started off as this like sweet, young, like, innocent girl. And now look at her now. She's like a freaking warrior. And that's not easy, especially with all the stuff that she's been through.
well,
So
trial
it's like a character
all this
to look
trial
up
by
to.
fire. It's trial by fire
Yeah,
coming out of
yeah. Like in Love and Scream 2, when he was like telling her, "Oh, he's like, you're a fighter," and she said that she didn't like believe it herself, and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm a fighter," and then it's just like, okay, yeah, Sydney, she's awesome. So for me, I probably would go with Sydney, but I love Randy. He's awesome.
I love that you mentioned that part because a
Hmm.
lot of people hate that part in Scream 2. The whole theater
Really?
sequence and everything. A lot of people hate on
Oh, I
that,
love that
and I was
part.
like, I love that, and I
Yeah.
love the Cassandra part. It was something
Yep.
where as a horror franchise, it does something different,
Yeah.
and it was like really cool. And then there's Ghostface,
Yep.
ooh,
Yep. He was in there with them. Yep.
So it was like that whole sequence. I love that you love that part right there because like a lot of people hate on that part, and I'm like, why,
Really?
why?
I don't know. I think it's Yeah, I like that. Scream 2 is great, by the way. I want to ask you what your ranking is when we get more into this of
Oh
the
yeah,
films.
oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It changes all the time except for the number
Okay,
one
so
spot.
when
But
say it again.
it changes all the
You
time,
said it changes all the time.
except for the number one spot. But I've been
Oh yeah,
very
for sure.
firm.
Number one is
Yeah,
of course the original. Well, I
yeah.
guess that's just what is your ranking?
Well, it's right now it's one, four,
Oh, nice.
five,
Okay.
2, and 3. 2,
Dang, that's super close to mine.
I love 2, but the fact that they killed Randy is like so hurtful on me because I feel like
Two is
that.
great.
But that's a weird thing though, because like what's your ranking? Sorry.
My ranking. Okay, so it's very similar to yours, and I would just switch the 5 and 4. So I would go 1, 5, 4, 2, and then 3. That's my ranking
Now,
of
now,
the series.
now I was torn between 5 and 4 though. I was really back
Hmm.
and forth. But the thing was, I
Yeah.
really dig Scream 4 because
Yeah.
of the original going up against the reboot slash remake meta ness of it
Hmm.
all. It's basically
Yeah.
it's the two parts clashing and the original winning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that aspect of it, especially when Sydney's like, "Don't fuck with the original," and you
Oh,
know,
I love that. Yeah, that was great. From
you
4
know,
is I don't know, like when I was like posting a lot about the films, I post about Scream
yeah.
like every freaking day. But anyways, a lot of people weren't into Scream 4. I don't know why. I feel like we could rank the killers later, but I do feel like that the killer in that one, that bitch was crazy. Out of all of them, in my opinion, she might be the most psychotic of them all. Like she killed her mom. She fucking like had fucked herself up to make it look. She wanted to be that final girl. And that scene, that part where she's like, "Who needs friends when you can have fans?" Like she was legit fucking psychotic, and I feel like she's the craziest of them all.
No, no.
I That's my number one killer.
She is that entitled youth that is
Yeah,
so annoyed that this other person has it and she wants it and goes about it
yeah,
the extraordinarily wrong way. That's what makes her
yeah.
the fucking villain, and that's why I'm like, fuck you,
She's
Jill.
Yeah, Scream 4 was amazing. I loved
Yeah.
that. Was a great movie. I remember when it came out, I kept watching it. I don't really watch trailers a lot, but I watched that trailer like nonstop, like every other day. And then when it hit the theaters, I saw it the midnight showing here at San Fran that's sadly closing. And it's funny because it was right before I met, the Overlook Theater family, and they had a similar experience where they saw that midnight show. So it's kind of cool that we're probably in that same theater watching Scream 4 that I was super excited about. And yeah, now we're here. But yeah, Scream 4 was great.
Like I say, I have a lot of my only qualms with 4 is the treatment of Dewey in it,
Hmm.
where I felt like he was a little bit more goofy, like he was just there for
You think
laughs, a little bit more than usual, you know,
really?
a little bit more
Because he
than
was the
usual.
sheriff in that one. You had the Lemon Bars girl, Judy, Detective Judy Hicks,
Well,
and she was the goofy one for me. She was weird, and they set up that like scene. You know that scene like in the stairway when Sydney was in the house, and
well,
she's
she's
like, "Oh,
in.
you remember me from high
She,
school?" And
comes out of the
yeah, it was
darkness.
just like in the silhouette. I was like, "Who is this
Yeah.
bitch? The killer?" She was just back there like, "Oh yeah, we're in the play together," and I was like, "Okay, is this gonna
Well,
go into something?" But it
well,
didn't go anywhere.
that is the wonderfulness of the Wes Craven, the ones that Wes Craven did, which is the majority
Yeah,
of them, that he
yeah,
would deliberately do something to make you think that this person could be the killer.
yeah,
It could be a nonverbal. It could be just a cutaway. It could be
yeah,
the shoe, the
yeah.
something a look lingering on a little too long, making you go like, wait,
Yeah,
is that the killer?
yeah.
You know. So that's just what Wes Craven does. He makes you
He was
question
good at that
yourself.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. He was great.
that's
Yeah, speaking of Wes Craven, rest in peace. Like two of my favorite franchises, A Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream, like they're both from Wes Craven. So when he was gone, I was like super bummed. Like I hella wanted to meet him like at a convention or something. Um, but yeah, so going into Scream 5, when that was announced, how did you feel? Knowing that Wes wasn't gonna be involved? Like what were your like initial
I
like
was
thoughts?
that's how I was. I was like, oh,
Oh,
don't
no,
do it, don't
yeah, because
do
I
it.
was I was kinda exactly.
I
Like, I
was
was super
skeptical.
concerned too. I was just like, "Oh, well, okay." I was excited for Scream to come back. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched the Scream, the TV series?
Oh yeah,
You
I watched the first two. I didn't watch the third one because I didn't like that they just left it hanging. I was like,
Yeah.
I got invested. I watched the first two seasons. I watched the Halloween special. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
I
Yep.
was I was on board. And then they were like,
Yeah. Yeah. See, Scream, the series, I love the first 2 seasons, and I like the whole Brandon James story, and I was hoping to continue with season 3, which it
Yeah.
was supposed to, but I guess I don't know if it was ratings or scheduling conflicts. I don't know, but they hell like stopped that and just rebooted it. There was rumors with when the Scream 5 came out that they were gonna get the cast together to do like a movie or a special for like
Mm.
TV, to bring that character back.
Yeah, just
Would you
wrap it
want
up.
to see that?
Yeah, I would like to
Huh?
wrap it up. Just give me a wrap up. That's
Yeah,
all I
because
want.
I feel like the fans of the show didn't get that.
Hey,
I yeah.
I wasn't the only
And
one
it
that
was good,
watched
like,
it.
I love Brooke.
You watched it. I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. Brooke I love Brooke on that, the final girl in there was the only thing I didn't really care for, Emma. She was kinda boring to me, honestly, but,
Yeah.
Brooke was cool, and I wanted to see more of her. She had all the chase scenes, and she got away from the
Well,
killer the
I
most.
mean, think about it. That's like a no-win situation because no matter what, you're going to be
Mhm.
compared to Nev Campbell. You're going to be compared to
Oh,
Cindy
for sure.
Prescott. So it's like,
Yeah.
as long as they do like a credible job, it's like like even the poor girl in the fifth one,
Oh, yeah.
they
I
try
was
to give
definitely gonna talk
her,
to you about that. Sam,
yeah,
yeah.
they try to give another element to it, but still,
Mhm.
it's like, especially with her being still in the movie, it's a
Yeah.
hard thing to be like, you know, she's a heavyweight,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No,
it's hard to
definitely. No,
compete.
for sure.
So
Yeah. So yeah, my initial thoughts when that came out, yeah, I was like super like, oh shoot, how is this gonna play out? Especially with West not involved, and the people that were involved were the guys who did Ready or Not, which I hella liked. Did you like Ready or Not,
I did.
or did you see? Have you seen? Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty legit.
I did. Now, what made me come around to the
Hmm.
idea of somebody of people with the love for the movie
Yeah.
to take hold of it was actually something
Hmm.
completely the other direction. Was after watching
Okay.
Cobra Kai.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
I love that show, by the way.
seeing how that was handled and how they went other
Yeah. Yeah.
directions
Yeah.
and
Yep.
found different ways to make it interesting and fun and funny
Yep.
and still keeping the
Yeah.
spirit of it. I was
Yep.
like, well, if these guys could do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to give these guys. It opened my mind to being a little bit more open
Yeah.
minded. So,
Yeah.
but before that, I was like this: those cash cow and sons of
Yeah.
bitches,
Just trying to get money. Yeah,
leave
but I was
my
excited.
franchise alone.
Yeah, they're gonna do like new characters and stuff. But then when who was the first to sign on? Dewey. David Arquette was the first to sign on, and I was, oh, this could be cool. Maybe he's passing the torch. And then Courtney Cox got casted, and then they saved Nev Campbell for later. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm ready for this. Like, I want to see where this is gonna go with these characters. I know it's very Scooby Doo, so I was kind of nervous. I was like, is Sydney gonna die? You know what I mean?
No, no,
So
if you watch the way that the movie
yeah,
plays out, it's very
yeah,
clear that
yeah,
they called some audibles depending on who signed on.
yeah, 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 yeah. I get you. Yeah,
If
for
Dewey
sure.
signed on first, his part was a lot bigger.
It was.
Then Gail signed on. She was in there a little bit
Yep,
earlier.
yep.
F signed on because
And then Nev.
theoretically, if she
Mhm.
didn't sign on, you could not have had her a part of it, and it still would have worked a little bit. You
Oh,
know?
I agree. I think so. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially with Dewey, yeah, for sure. So,
Yeah.
yes, back to Scream 5. So, overall, give me like a mini review of what did you think of it? And yeah, let's get into 5.
I had a wonderful time. I had a
I did
wonderful
too.
time. It was one of those, experiences where I was like, I was hoping. I was saying a prayer. I was conversing with the higher above. I was like, come on, baby.
Mhm.
I'm in a movie theater.
Yeah.
There might be COVID all around me, but show me something good. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was ready. COVID, and the funny thing of that is, like a week and a half before this freaking came out, I got COVID. I think we all got COVID over here, and I was out of work, and I was so upset because like, fuck, am I gonna be able to see this movie? But I quarantined for the 5 days, I retested, and I was fine. So I was really happy about that. But that almost stopped me from seeing it opening night, which would I would have been bummed. But yeah, and spoiled. Like Instagram is brutal. Like when I got back home, they showed people were posting everything, the killers, the Easter eggs. I was like, damn, I'm so glad I saw it opening night.
Well, that's why,
So.
like Spider Man.
Hmm.
I had to go to the movie theater for the first time by myself, and I don't know how long because of
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
spoilers. My wife was
No
like,
Way Home.
because she knows
Yep.
I'm a big Marvel fan. She was like totally okay
Yeah.
with me going to the theater by myself because of all the spoilers. So I went to like
Yeah.
the first morning, section myself
Oh,
off from other people. First
yeah,
showing was
yeah,
in there, boom.
yeah.
So I can
That movie was
understand.
great,
Yeah. Oh,
by the way. Yeah, I loved
talk about a
I
theater.
saw that one twice.
Talk
Yep.
about a theater experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The
I was,
whole thing.
I
Yep.
was
Yep. Yep.
but I'm saying a few times, but
Yeah.
uh, but seeing Scream in the theater with my
Mhm.
wife. We saw it together because we're big Scream fans, the both of us.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh, cool.
yeah, my brother was watching Barrack, so he wasn't there with us.
Oh, good. Okay.
So, but but we saw it together, and I had my I'm pretty sure that I'm Max Cady to a lot of people when I'm in the movie theater. From
Really?
Cape Fear, I'm just like, ha
Oh,
ha
wow.
ha ha,
Yeah.
go! I am so in there. Like,
Yeah.
that's, which, well, if we get to Halloween, we can talk about that
Yeah, sure,
later
sure.
on, later on. But like, I'm very vocal. I'm very there, and I was on board. I
Yeah.
was on board.
So how many times did you see it, so far? Because I know we
Once.
talked about Halloween Kills, you've seen that multiple times. Okay, so once. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, because I saw it 4 times. I saw it the first time I saw it, and I was super, like, so excited. I was just like a little kid in a candy store. Like, I was just all in it too, and just like, "Oh, man." When Sydney came on and, like, that whole, of course, I'm Sydney fucking Prescott, of course I have a gun, which she ad-libbed it herself, that was not in the script, which was awesome, and the crowd went crazy. Yeah, but the second time I seen it, I paid more attention to details, second, third, and then the fourth time I saw more of the Easter eggs. I was like
Oh
focused
yeah.
and I started learning what people like quoting the movie again. But yeah, that
I
movie
I
insane.
I remember the moment that I really popped. That I really
Hmm.
popped is when
Hmm.
Dewey, saddled up and came in and was like,
Oh yeah.
and his theme music from Scream 2 popped up. I was like, yes,
Oh yes. When he went to the house.
yes.
Yep. Yep. Because
The
he finally
bar,
went to go help them and it had the Dewey theme. Yep.
which is the Dewey theme, is actually the music score from Broken Arrow. If you
Oh,
didn't know
okay.
that.
No,
Bow,
I didn't
bow,
know that.
bow,
So
bow.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was something about that.
Yep.
In Scream 2, they were like, Dewey needs something. They need something. So they
Yeah.
borrowed something from Hans Zimmer and just shoved it in the
Yeah.
movie. So,
Oh,
but,
okay.
so when you hear it, it's like that's Dewey's thing. Down, 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 down. It's like,
Yeah, because every time you hear that, you hear, and then there's like the Gale one too when he's with Gale. Like remember when they're making out in part 2 in the theater room before
yeah.
her little cool chase scene? Yep.
Oh, I mean, like Dewey has this amazing ability of just like really screwing he just pulls on your heartstrings.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first one, the
Yeah. Yeah.
whole time. I mean, like, uh, it's such a lovable character. Like, I remember
He
when
is.
like
He's
when he came out and screamed with the stab, and you were like, when you saw
yeah.
that, and you're like, oh no, not
Yeah.
Dewey.
He was supposed to go out in the first one, but they brought
But
him back because they're like, "Oh, I think the fans are gonna like this guy."
well, no, because
So that's why we see
everybody
him for
had that
so long.
reaction. Everyone had that
Yep.
reaction. It was
Yep.
like, oh no,
Yep.
Dewey.
Yep. So Wes decided to throw that scene in where you see him on the little stretcher, kind of like Chad was in Scream 5,
Well,
going to
Chad
the
and Mindy,
ambulance.
Chad and Mindy,
Yep, and Mindy. And Mindy was on the stretcher. Yep. Yep. Yep.
they both got the Dewey
Okay.
treatment. They're our new
He
Dewey.
did. Yep. Because I thought Chad died. I was like, oh, he's a little app thing to go find Liv, and then he got stabbed a few times, a lot of times. People got stabbed the fuck up in this movie, honestly.
Well, they got to
But
make up for like 10 years of no Scream, 11 years no
yeah,
Scream.
for
So they
sure.
have to make up for lost
Yeah,
time.
it took 10 years to get to 4, and then another 10 years to the 5. Yeah. So yeah, it's greenlit for 6. So hopefully we get that in under 10 years. But
Now, what was the moment that sold you for Scream 5 watching it?
the moment that sold me,
Yeah, that was like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing, I was just excited to see the legacy characters back, and I loved how they flipped it and the whole requel thing. Because I was like, where are they going to go with this? Like the first one was the first movie, sequels was the second, trilogies for the third, remakes for the fourth. What are they going to do with the fifth one? I don't know. I was like, I hope they're not going to do time travel like they mentioned in the Scream 4's like opening. I don't know if you remember that in the beginning of the opening. They said, oh, Scream 5 did time
and
travel. But anyways, they didn't do that. But
they do the
yeah,
time travel, and that's why they're at Stu's house.
yeah, 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 yeah. So incorporated it, but no, the whole Rico thing was cool, and I like the opening scene. I feel like really Tara, Jenny Ortega. I think she's amazing. She's up and coming. She's gonna be the next big scream queen. She has a couple other horror films coming out. The Addams Family show, the Wednesday Addams. I mean, and
I saw
yeah, no, her
her.
opening scene with that. I'm sorry.
I saw her in You, second
Yeah,
season You, and I was like,
and
she's too
she's great
good
in that.
for this show.
Yep,
What is she doing
and
on this show? She
and then
should
she
have
did the
her own
babysitter.
WB show, and she was great in
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. Oh, you saw that the babysitter too, or
Oh
whatnot? I think she's in the second
yeah,
one.
yeah. She's a
Yeah,
great. What was it called? It was a Queen, Killer Queen. That
Killer
babysitter,
Queen. Yeah, yeah,
Killer
on
Queen. Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah.
Yep. That was good. I like those both of those are good. And
Yeah.
then now she's in this, and she's gonna be in X, the new Ty West film, dropping next month. And yeah, the Wednesday show. But no, that opening scene with that call, and then her whole spiel on elevated horror, how she's not into like all the stab movies. She's like, oh yeah, and then talked about how the '90s hair and like like, I don't know. That whole scene was kind of cool to me and pretty brutal too. Like the whole stab through the hand, and then she got stabbed hella times, and then she still fought back. So like that's a little Survivor girl, final girl in the making.
Well,
But she
the cool thing
yeah.
about that opening sequence is
Mhm.
that it's the one that felt the most like the first one,
Mhm.
because there was some marinating time, like there was in the
Yeah.
first one, where he's
Yep.
not he didn't like drop him like I'll pick it off Fisher, he didn't immediately go I'll kill you. He didn't go
Yeah.
there like in the first one. He
Yeah.
laid it on. He was like being
Yep.
nice. He was being cordial. He was slipping into the what I want to talk
Yeah.
about crap. So
Yeah, he was referencing being in AA with the mom or being the new
yeah.
boyfriend or something, and how she always mentions like, "Oh yeah, she likes movies. She likes scary movies." And that's when he got into what's your favorite scary movie? I don't know. Yeah, it was great. The whole opening scene and the whole Amber thing. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get
Oh
to
yeah,
Amber.
yeah. But
But yeah, that's yeah.
so the thing about this opening is that
Mhm.
it borrows from ideas that they were going to use in Scream 3. The original opening of Scream 3 was
Mhm.
going to be an attack on Sydney, and she survives.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, I heard that about
But
that. Okay.
it was a fan of the stab movies who attacked her, which
Yeah.
is why she's living in seclusion in the third one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they didn't have enough for a lot of time, so they cut down her role a whole lot.
Yeah, scheduling. That's why she's barely in it. Kind of like this
Yeah,
one. Like the
yeah,
whole, it's like a Gale movie. That movie's mostly about Gale and Dewey. Which
yeah,
is cool. We got to see different sides to them too in Scream 3.
yeah.
I like Scream 3. We'll get to Scream 3 because I want to go in order.
Yeah.
But
Oh, sorry.
yeah. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. And back to Dewey, you said how he's like goofy and like lovable. He
Yeah.
is like in real life too. Like after the first time we saw it in theaters, they had like a Q&A with him, and he was super like, I don't know. He seems like a goofball in real life. I don't know. It's like when they're asking him questions.
Wait,
I don't
wait.
know. He's a funny guy. I don't know.
He does this stuff. He's like
Yeah, he's awkward.
does that
He
stuff.
he kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know. He talks fast, and you can't understand what he's saying at times. But he's cool. Like I don't know, cool people.
But
Um,
he questions whether or not he's inebriated or not. And not in that
mhm.
bad way, but in the like, did you get high before you came on the
Yeah,
channel from like
yeah.
anxiety or something?
Is this
And this
mine
is the
now?
only way you can cope with being in
Yeah,
a room full of people.
yeah.
So, but
Okay.
but I mean, wait. So what are we talking about now? We're talking about two.
Oh yeah, we can go. We can get into part two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go in order? We can do that. We talked
Yeah.
about part one. Yeah.
Let's talk about one.
All right. So Scream
Okay.
2. So yeah. What is your first memory of Scream 2?
Oh, the opening. The
The
opening.
opening. Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's one of my favorite openings. I love the first opening. Two
I
was insane.
I love the conversation between Omar Epps and
Jada Pinkett.
Jada Pinkett.
Yep.
Uh, I love the conversation. I don't. I'm not so much a big fan of his death,
Hmm.
but her death is so. The idea that you could be in a room full of people and you're
Yeah.
being slaughtered and
Yeah.
nobody is coming to help you.
No
The
one,
I
because they all just thought it was. Yeah.
the idea of that is just like so like oh my god, and it's just like that level of like where like hey, you're taking this too far, your admiration for what's going on, that you can't see
Hmm.
what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Because even that like moment she's like, ah! She's like looking at these
Oh, I
motherfuckers like
know. They were all
that.
still. Yeah.
Her look was so much like, fuck you,
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Like it was like so like, why can't you help
Yeah.
me? You know?
Yeah, she was looking at people too as he was stabbing her as she was walking towards
Yeah.
the front. People were just going, yeah, it's just cheering everything on and just not, you know, yeah.
Now I
But
just
yeah, they were not like gonna help her.
now
But
I
no,
just
that opens. Yeah.
oh I'm sorry, I was gonna say that opening scene of Scream 2
Hmm.
and Jenna Ortega's are right there for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure.
For
Definitely.
intensity and what they
Hmm.
brought to because Scream 2 was something different,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
but then Jenna Ortega's had the same intensity of the first two movies,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
agree.
So especially because
I
you were
agree.
like, she's dead, she's dead. How's she going to
Yeah.
die? She's dead, she's
Yep.
dead.
Yeah. She was
Yeah,
out. Yeah. And
but
Scream 2, I kind of liked how they almost played off like a sequel. I'm sorry. a remake type of thing, how they killed people in the order that they died in the first movie. You remember that? That was kind of cool because I loved Scream 2 as well a lot because I'm a huge, you probably know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. And Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it. Yeah, I don't know, she was supposed to be an urban legend as well. I don't know, the Tara Reid character. I don't know if you knew. She was supposed to be in that, but Buffy scheduling conflicts gave it to, so they gave it to Tara Reid. But no, yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar, I love her chase scene in that, and then Omega Beta Zeta, the whole CC phone call. I love that scene, and every time it comes on, I get all excited. But yeah, so out
What?
of the new characters, she was my favorite for sure, and I love the sequel talk. Um, with Joshua Jackson, they're in college and they're talking about sequels, like, oh, they're never inferior to the first film. Yeah, well, how would you think of
Well,
that, of those like scenes?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Hmm.
That part was like, because I remember I was like, when I was watching in the theater, I was like, she can't die. It's Buffy,
Yeah.
you know? Because even then, she was still Buffy. She was like, Buffy had happened.
Yep.
I was like, she can't die.
Yep.
She's not gonna die. She's gonna be like one of the new characters. She's gonna be established.
Hmm.
She died. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have respect for Scream 2, but Scream 2 pissed me off the most.
Oh, it did.
No.
Because it killed
I
Buffy.
respect it. I enjoy it. I watch it. I love it. I love it
Hmm.
because like the Who
Hmm.
Done It is so well laced in that film,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But like it pissed me off. It got my. I'm a Dadaist. I like when I feel things. When if I
Yeah.
can
Yeah. Yeah.
feel something, I forgive me like my personal tastes and my opinions are put to the side.
Yeah.
Like maybe feel.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
killing Sarah Michelle Gellar, I was like, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, that I didn't want her to die, of course. Like when she was on I Know What You Did Last Summer, now that one hurt me because that was an amazing chase scene, probably one of my favorites, against the fisherman.
What
And she
happened?
almost got away. You seen all the people, and then he fucking got her in the little tires. I was like, no, just keep going. Oh, now that one upset me. And I didn't really care for Julie, but no, that's a whole nother conversation. But oh yeah, so I feel you on that. But yeah, Scream 2, I was super excited. I know she wanted to die in that one. I remember reading an article in one of like the old magazines. I don't know if it was like People or Us Weekly or maybe the Buffy magazine. I don't know. I used to read a lot of magazines that had her on it. But
Yeah.
she said that she, because she's like this big, powerful character on Buffy, and she wanted to die in something. So that's
Ah,
why she was like she signed up for that role. Yeah.
but and also like with the sequel conversation, which there's this weird thing, which
Hmm.
apparently like like when Randy and Pacey were
Yep.
trading back lines, and the line
Yeah.
is
Yep. Yep.
stay away from your bitch, get away from isn't the line get away
Yep.
from your
Yep.
bitch? It's actually
Yep.
stay away from your bitch.
Yep. That's your
He,
Randy. Yep. That's your
no, no,
character.
no, 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 no. Randy screwed up.
Yeah, he did. Oh, he did.
He
Wait, let me
he
think.
he said the wrong line, and
Is it stay
everyone
away
went
from
with
me?
it.
Oh, he did, and then he corrected him. Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
that's
Yep,
one
I
of those
remember
weird
that. Yep.
moments, and I was like, yes,
So he messed. So that's like a, yeah. He didn't have it there.
yeah.
He's always on it too.
The funny thing is, it's one of those things that you don't think about till like way later. You're like, wait
Yeah.
a second, the line is stay away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
Get away
Yeah.
from your bitch. See right there, it's like but wait, but he screwed up, and I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? And now apparently Jamie Kennedy said that it was because of like them going back and forth the lines all day long that they just mixed it up, and that's the scene that they kept because it was a wide shot.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
it was like a weird thing where it was like, oh, okay. But it
Yeah.
was like that moment, like like the sequel conversation, which apparently people hate on that one too. I don't know why they hate that one.
Really? I don't know.
Which
That got me. I like that scene a lot. Yeah.
it's the meta-ness of Scream is what they
Hmm.
the things, and then later either some characters follow suit or some characters
Yeah.
live. So
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
it's the weird thing where it's like if you don't get the meta-ness of Scream, it's
Yeah.
like it's ridiculous when people get all like, hey, I didn't like that. Yeah.
But a lot of people, too, liked part two more than the first one. A lot of people would put the sequel above the first one. I mean, the sequel had a lot of crazy hit moments, like the killer reveals, because that was changed too. I don't know if you knew about the roommate and the boyfriend was supposed to be the killer. There's supposed to be three killers. Who
Yes,
was the third one supposed to be?
Dr. Mrs. Loomis.
Oh, so she was always a part of that. Oh,
Yes,
got it.
but she
Okay.
wasn't going to be like because in the other one she got
Hmm.
involved
I see.
in the movie in Scream 2
Okay.
she got involved. In this one
Yeah.
she was just Debbie Salt, manipulating the
Oh,
situation.
okay.
She's
Got
being
it.
a mom grooming the two killers.
Got it,
So
yeah, to get the revenge on her son being killed.
yeah,
Yeah, so, yeah, it'd been interesting to see the roommate, but I liked where they went with it with Mickey, just a random guy she found on a forum, and then you had, yeah, Debbie Salt that was, Billy's mother, which she was psychotic too. I like their fight too, though. The whole exchange they have, and then you have that necklace that the boyfriend gave her, and she said, "You forgot one thing about Billy Loomis. I fucking killed him." And she swipes her with it. Love that scene. I always quoted that part. I love that part so much. And the little chase, the little fights, and like the whole theater like falling. The theater scene was, I don't know. I don't know. That was cool.
I remember being like, "Hey, Jackie's in this movie. Jackie from
Oh
Roseanne's
yeah,
in this
from
movie." I was like,
Roseanne. Yep.
"Hey, Jackie from Roseanne's in here," and I was like, "Hey, Jackie, what are you doing? Wait,
Mm-hmm.
what? Billy's mom?
Yep. Yep.
Damn, that family's fucked up." But
Mm-hmm.
I remember what was it? I had a thought. Sorry, I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go?
Oh, screenplay. Maybe Salt
No,
Roseanne.
no. Uh, that like the killer thing where it was like following the
Mm-hmm.
pattern. A red
Mm-hmm.
herring that gets abandoned.
Yeah.
It happened
Oh
in
yeah, for
three.
sure.
It happened in three. It happened in four. They do a thing where like you think you're going on this path and like no, they do a double back. They change
Yeah.
it up. And
Yep.
I do agree with you about just it's weird. The performance of Roseanne as Billy's mom
Mm-hmm.
sells me on Billy's mom
Yeah.
because she looks fucking crazy.
She did.
She was all like, "What you did
Yeah.
to
She
my
was.
son?"
Yeah.
The whole fucking eyes going out of her head. I was
Yeah.
like,
Eyes were bulging, veins. She was. Yeah. She was
I,
pissed.
she bought the ticket. She was taking the ride, and you're like, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's go." Because
No,
I
for
was like,
sure.
because like
Yep.
on paper, you're like, "What the fuck?" But then she
Yeah.
sold it.
Yep. And
So
you had that whole side story with Cotton Weary wanting to be like, because he got, put down, like went to jail because they thought that he killed Maureen Prescott. So then this whole movie, he wants this like redemption and wants to be like the star per se, which he does get kind of because she gave it to him. Because Sydney's like, you can have it, like you can have this shit. Like I had, I'm over it. But yeah, what do you think of the Cotton character and that's that side story? Because that concludes in the next movie we're going to talk about.
now talk
What
about
reversal?
the flip.
The flip. Yeah, yeah.
Originally, Cotton stumbles on the scene and tries
Mm-hmm.
to kill Sydney,
Mm-hmm.
and they have it out with like dueling knives just going at each other.
Oh, that was
That
in the
was
original
the
script.
original script. He wasn't part
Oh
of the
wow,
killers.
I didn't know that.
He just came up on the scene and was like, "Why
Yeah.
don't I do the manipulating the news and make
Yeah,
this work
yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah,
favor?"
to get it.
You know.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but then they changed it up, and which I was like, yay, because I kind of felt sorry for Cotton. I was like,
Mhm.
when you really think about it, like went to jail for a year, was
Yep,
accused of rape and murder, not just
yep,
murder and rape, and
yeah,
got to spend that time in prison. So you can understand why he was being a dick, a little bit, a few times in the movie.
yeah.
And Leah Schreiber is just a great actor, so I was like,
Yeah, he is, he is, he is.
I understood where he was coming from, but I was still like, Cotton, you're laying it on a little too thick, buddy. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're gonna get shot. Someone's gonna be like, Cotton, bam, shut up. You know. So, but
Yeah, he wasn't my favorite character,
no,
in the series
I
per
just
se.
felt sorry for him
Yeah, yeah, I
because
no, I
he did
get
go
you.
to
I
jail.
did too. No, yeah, for sure, for anybody in that situation because he didn't do anything wrong, and, we
I
find out
love
what
that.
are.
I love that they brought back Liev Schreiber because in
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
first
same actor.
movie, he just
Yeah,
has that little moment where they do the news report and you take him out of the police station
yep,
into the car. That's
yep, and it was
all.
the same actor.
Yeah,
Yep.
you could easily recasted him, but they brought him back.
Yeah, for sure. They used the same one, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and also the old, back to the kind of Scream one, but remember like the whole the stab movie was being made in this one, and then
Mhm.
they had Tori Spelling playing Sidney Prescott, which is pretty funny because in the first movie after she sleeps with, or before, maybe after she sleeps with Billy, it's like, oh, I want Meg Ryan to be, me, but she said I'll probably get Tori Spelling, and then they get Tori Spelling from 90210. I thought that was cool.
Oh,
So she played Sidney Prescott
that
with
reminded
her
me.
luck.
That reminded me something. Hold on.
Yeah.
We need to go back to one for a second. One. Scream
Okay.
one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because this is a fan theory of like mega proportions here. Now,
Okay.
because you brought up the stab moment, and they did the stab scene with like Luke, like when Luke Wilson and and Tori Spelling are in the
Tori
hallway.
Spelling. Yep.
It made
Yep.
me think.
Yep.
It reminded me of that. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
when Nev goes to the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
and like has that moment when the girls are being ridiculous and being mean, and
Yeah.
she's in the bathroom,
Yeah,
she
talking about yeah,
cries,
yeah.
pathetic,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you hear Sydney.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Now here's a question for you:
Okay.
is that somebody being a dick, or is that actually Stu or Billy?
That oh, yeah. See, I don't know, because Stu was in the hallway before that scene with Tatum. They went to class,
But
then
he
Billy
was
popped
down
up.
the hallway.
See, yeah, he was down. He went that way, so it had to had been Billy. But then Billy, oh, that's a good one. I didn't think of that because when in that movie you do hear someone whispering her name, and then you see the boots come down, and then he attacks her. So you're saying you think it might be one of those kids that the principal like took in that was wearing the
Yeah,
mask. Remember that in the
I
first
think it
one?
was someone
Yeah,
being a dick,
it
but a lot of
could have been like
people,
just playing around with her. Oh, that would
yeah,
be a good little fan theory. I mean, that would make sense in a sense.
a,
I don't
a
know if
lot
that's
of
true, but I mean,
a lot
but
of people think it's either Billy or Stu, and I'm like, no, I think someone was just fucking with
probably those
Sydney.
kids fucking around because
Yeah,
there were kids that were wearing the mask and running around pretending. Like, remember when they're in the
yeah.
hallway with Tatum talking about the party? They're running through the hallway with the mask and stuff. So it very well could have been one of those stupid kids in school trying to like fuck with her.
There's that little scene with bringing up the Meg Ryan thing. The Meg
Yeah,
Ryan, like the town that at sundown.
yeah, yeah,
They're going to the store to buy food for the party, and when they're
yeah,
in the store,
yeah.
there's Ghostface's reflection.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of those. Also, when she was talking to Tatum outside on the deck, and then
Yeah,
you see Ghostface in the bushes, when
no,
she's talking about this being a Wes Carpenter flick.
yeah. Now people are like thinking that that's Billy and Stu, and I was like, no, I think those are just people being dicks, like running around town just as Ghostface.
Yeah,
I personally think I don't think it's actually the killers. Just
yeah,
scoping around. I was like, because like,
yeah. In the mask,
yeah, because
in
I
the
think,
whole ass costume. But that would be interesting. No, now when I rewatch it, I'm gonna look at it from that perspective and see
yeah,
how that plays out. But that, yeah. Oh, okay.
because I had like a big argument about it where I was like, it's just somebody playing a freaking prank. I always thought it was someone just being a prank because they didn't
Yeah.
go. There was no knife.
No, there wasn't.
If you
He was
notice,
just there, I guess, like,
he was just there. He went for the grab.
he was just
There
there.
was no
Yeah.
knife.
I remember the grocery store. I forgot about that. Yeah, the grocery store when they're, like, pushing, buying little stuff. Yeah, he was in that reflection on the freezer window. Okay.
Yeah,
Damn,
same.
yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
but,
knife. So
it
yeah,
makes
but
sense.
I just wanted to see if you ever thought about that because I hear a
No,
lot of theories
no.
about that. People going like it's Billy, Stu, Billy went in. I was like, no, it's just someone being a dick. Followed probably in there, had
Yeah,
the stuff, and just followed them. Followed Saul, go in there, went in.
yeah,
Because there's that moment where she's in the stall for a little bit, and then she comes
yeah.
out, where someone could have just slipped
Oh,
in.
yep, yep, and then he just attacks her, and she just gets out, and then Billy
Yeah.
pops up or whatever.
So, oh yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like,
shit, I didn't think of it that way.
yeah,
Okay, cool. So Scream 2, we
shoot
loved
through.
it. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
So yeah, so Scream 3. So Scream 3, I love the opening of Scream 3. It was a little different. Scream 3 took a whole different route. Cold over there, and I guess snowing out there, I know.
No, 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 no. This is me. Scream 3 is the one I had the most problems with.
Yeah, the lowest problem was that yeah, that one had a lot of different stuff going on. Like you had the they did change the script quite a bit. Have you heard of the show called The Following?
Yes.
With Kevin Williams, with Kevin Bacon. That was supposed to be, I guess, like what they want to Scream 3 to be about the cult, like the Ghostface cult or whatnot.
Mhm.
I don't know how that would have played out in Scream, but they
Oh,
changed all that.
well, because it was like I said, the original opening for 3 was a fan attacked Sydney.
Sydney. Oh, okay. And that was like
A
that
fan,
cult.
yeah, and that was
Yeah.
like one of the
Yeah.
people like, where did this person? This person's just a fan.
Yeah.
This person had no connection to Sydney. Why is she
Yeah.
attacking Sydney? And then you
Exactly.
find out as the movie goes on that it's Stu pulling the strings from prison.
Yep. See, that's yeah. I don't want to talk about the whole Stu thing. I have that on
Yeah.
here for Scream 5 because people want Stu to come back, but I think he's dead. What do you think? Do you think he's alive?
Okay, let's
He
see.
was he was
That was
bleeding
that.
a lot, and had a TV thrown on him.
Well, I mean, come on, it's a
Yeah, he was
TV.
dying. I'm getting a little woozy here.
Now,
Like that guy was dying.
given that 3
Mhm.
has the most, now we haven't talked about our favorite Ghostface. I'll tell you right now, my
No, we're gonna
least
do that. I want to
favorite
rank.
Ghost.
That'll be fun.
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I'll tell you my least favorite
No, that's easy. It's
is motherfucking Roman.
yeah, for sure. He's yeah.
Roman,
I agree.
long lost
1000%.
brother, pulling the
Hmm.
strings for Billy and Stu.
Yep.
I was like, fuck you, Scott Foley. Go back to
The half brother. Yep.
I was like, go back
Yeah,
to
and I know.
Felicity.
Yeah.
Damn it. I was like,
Felicity, yep. And he was in Dawson's Creek, which I want to mention too. I don't know if you remember in Scream 5, Terrell when she was in the hospital before she's attacked, and
yeah.
that really awful scene that we're going to talk about. But yeah, she's watching Dawson's Creek. I don't know if you've ever watched that show growing up.
The episode was called The Scare.
Got it. Oh, you're good. Okay, it was
Kevin
season
Williams.
1,
Oh,
episode
I'm all
11.
about it. I'm all about it.
Yep. And
I'm all.
it was like a parody of like the screams and all that. And it was a Halloween episode. So yeah, it was kind of cool that she was watching that. It also had, Pacey and Joshua Jackson was in part 2, and then Scott Foley is the killer in part 3, which is kind of cool that I don't know, little
Now,
Easter egg there.
fun fact: I actually, when I was 230 pounds in middle school,
Oh, damn.
I was big fat boy, and I
Oh,
actually
wow. Okay.
lost weight watching reruns of Dawson's Creek after school on a treadmill.
Oh, dang.
I would record it and just play it
Yeah.
over and over and over. Because
Yeah.
of the connection of Scream to Kevin
Yeah.
Williamson, who created Dawson's Creek, I was
Exactly.
on board. I was on board before
Yep.
it even, I was like, I was there. So,
Yeah.
you know, in a roundabout way, Scream helped me lose, weight.
Lost a ghost face and scream. Oh, okay.
I would
Damn.
just watch. I would just watch
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek. An
I like
hour every
Dawson's
day.
Creek. Were
So
you team Dawson or team Pacey?
it's Team Pacey because I relate to Pacey a lot more, even though I was a
Oh,
film
really?
geek. Because
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I was the black sheep of my family, so I kind of
Yeah.
connected with Pacey.
With Pacey. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked Pacey. I remember when I originally watched it, growing up, I wanted Dawson to be with Joey. I really did. I was like, "Oh, I'm team Dawson." Even remember that infamous cry when he had to let her go and that ugly cry. It's like memes now. And then I rewatched the show, like years later. I was a bit older, and I was team Pacey. When you rewatch it, it's like, okay, yeah, Pacey was better for her than Dawson. Like Dawson was always her crush. They always have their thing, but yeah, Pacey was
Well,
better.
this
So
is
yeah.
this is my whole thing. Dawson had the big dreams and the big career. Pacey was,
Mhm.
he's the simple fella, who would,
Yeah.
who would just be the rock for Joey when she needed him. But she had
Yeah.
her own thing going on, so they complemented each other. While
Yeah.
Dawson's off, moving boulders
Doing
and mountains
movies
and
and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
So,
film buff. Yeah.
but
Okay. Yeah, so that's kinda cool you remember that. Cool, the Dawson's Creek. So yeah,
we were
Scream 3.
we, we
Yeah, so
were
Scream 3.
we were meant to do this. We were.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like
I
I was
didn't
like,
think you would know. That's hella cool. Okay.
I was
Yes,
like,
so
I'm sorry. I'm having a good time. I'm sorry.
I hope so, you should. I need to get this beer going. But no, Scream 3 is like my least favorite, I will say. There's moments I did like about it. But yeah, so the opening scene, I loved the cotton weary thing at the beginning. I did kind of like that. The part that caught me off guard as a kid watching, I remember seeing this in theaters opening weekend. And I remember like it was like a girl on the phone, but that ended up being Ghostface, the whole voice changer thing. When I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, kind of different. And then now when I watch it, I hella don't like that. Like that whole, like, you could use anybody's voice and call people, like prank them in a sense. But I like the beginning because I like that song that had a cool music video. Creed, I think, the
Oh
What
yeah.
If song that
No,
played at the beginning. And
yeah.
how
What
the
if? Yeah.
yep, and the chick, his like girlfriend or wife or whatever, was like showering. The song was on, and then like he used his voice. I don't know, but that whole voice changer thing. What did you think of that? That's where I was going with that. But
That was where I was like, you're pushing it a little bit. You're
yeah,
pushing
so
it
that
a
one of the things
little
that you
bit.
didn't like about it.
Well, it was one of those. No, those Scream likes to push the boundaries on things you want to like about the
Mhm.
Scream franchise a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
saying, hey, did you like James Silent Bob showing up out of nowhere? I was like, what the fuck is James
Oh
Silent Bob
yeah.
doing in this movie? I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
because of the Columbine thing, of the
Hmm.
tragedy of Columbine, they veered away from being violent and horrifying and lean more into the comedic element,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
didn't. I was like, that's why come there's a lot more of a slapsticky element,
Yeah.
why to it a little bit. They play up laughs a little bit more, you
They
know.
do. Yep. For sure.
So as like a fan of the first two, which was like, you had a laugh, but it was still horrifying. This one was
Yeah.
like, okay, we're having too much of a laugh here. This is a horror movie. Come on.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's how
It
I
was a
felt.
lot more jokes or jokey.
Well,
I did like the chick who soon played Gail.
Parker
I hella liked her.
Posey.
Yeah, she was great.
Parker.
She was my favorite character in that. The new
She's
characters, out of the new characters, she was great.
my wife actually loves Scream 3. I have a lot of
Oh, she
problems with
does?
it. Yeah, but it's one of those weird things where it's like when you love a franchise, you go back and you just like seeing the faces again. And
Yeah.
I have this weird admiration for 3 now, whereas before, like
Mhm.
I have these issues with it, but I'm still like, I like seeing Gail and Dewey run around. I like
Yeah.
seeing Gail and the clone Gail run around being detectives
Yeah,
and stuff.
that was
I was
cool,
like,
trying to figure out the mystery together, and her awful bangs.
I
She
have
referenced that in Scream 5.
a,
You know, her bangs on the TV show.
I have a good time watching it upon even though it's like there's like the voice changer and the
Yeah.
Roman,
Mhm.
fucking Roman. I was like, God, you know, but
I don't like
I
Roman.
I have a good time watching it upon,
Mhm.
especially it weird three, and then three had something where it it tackled the Me Too
Mhm.
bullshit in Hollywood before
Yeah,
anybody
with
else
the
was
whole
talking about it. With
yep, Maureen
with
Prescott and
yeah,
the
it
guy
was like
and sleeping with all the guys and, like, gang
yeah,
banger, I
like
guess.
they're like trying to take advantage of her. They took advantage of her because she
Yep.
wanted to do a career and like being
Yep, yep,
sleazy and all that. I was
yep,
like, whoa,
yep. They went
whoa,
there on that one.
which is so strange because who are the executive producers? Well, one of the Weinsteins. Harvey Weinstein was one of the
Yep.
executive producers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh,
So I
yep,
was like,
yep. And they
you
played off
think,
of that. Oh, shit, I forgot about that. The
yeah.
Weinsteins and the whole
So
oh, shit,
you
yeah.
think it's one of those things where he was like,
Yeah.
eh,
Yeah, for
sounds
sure.
kind of, but that's not me. Yeah,
Yeah.
but whatever. Or he's like, I can't say anything or it'll make me look bad. Yeah, put it up there. Maybe nobody will notice. So,
Yeah.
but looking back, and I was like, that is
Mhm.
whoa. Like once again, like
Yeah.
tapping into something that that nobody really gave it a second thought because like it's one of those things that
Yeah.
people kind of like brush past it. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
mentioned it because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yep.
people were talking about it. You
They
know,
had to be.
yeah. So it's like they brought it up, and it's like hey, kudos
Yeah.
to Scream Three for being having the balls to do that. You know, so
Yep.
but also
Yeah.
like the Kincaid character. What are your thoughts
Yeah,
on
Mark.
him?
I was mentioning that. Yeah, so Mark, I liked Mark, and he was supposed to come back for Scream 4, and, what?
He tied the knot. They finally tied the knot.
Oh, yeah, 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 with Sydney. He was supposed to
Yeah.
be in part 4, but apparently he was filming, the new Transformers movie. I don't know which one it was, the Dark of the I don't watch those. I like the
That must have
first
been a good paycheck.
those
That's all I gotta say.
yeah, so he was supposed to be in 4, but he passed on that due to scheduling conflicts, and he wasn't in 5, but he's mentioned they're married, they got kids, so
Mm-hmm.
we might see him in 6. I'm looking forward to that.
We've seen him in
But
six. What's he doing? I mean, he got besides playing
I
the
don't know.
ghost of McDreamy on Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, come
Oh,
on.
yeah, yep, because he died on that
What are you
gruesome
doing?
thing.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah, but I like
Come
their
on.
dynamic. I like that part in the movie where they're at the police station and he asks her, "Oh, what's your favorite scary movie?" And she goes, "Oh no," she asks him that. Sydney asked him that, and he says, "My life," and she goes, "Mine too." I love that part.
That's some suave shit right there. That's some
Yeah,
suave. I was like,
that was their way of flirting, and they
ah,
got together.
like I said, I've developed this admiration for three.
Yeah, yeah.
Kincaid's partner, unsung hero.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
when he's like, you think the murders are linked to the movie? And he's like, she was in a movie called He was in a movie called Stab. He got stabbed. You know,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm saying,
And then you had they actually and I like one thing I did like about the
ooh,
Scream
fun
3
thing
like
about that.
killing.
Fun thing about that guy. Fun thing about
Yeah,
that guy. That guy is
yeah.
actually the uh, the physical and voice of Raphael in the Ninja Turtle series. The guy that
Oh,
plays
really?
Kincaid's partner. Yep.
Which one? The animated from the 90s?
No.
Which
The
one?
live action.
Oh, the live action. Oh, cool. I
He
didn't know that.
plays.
Oh,
He
okay.
does both. He does the action and the
Yeah.
voice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that
Nice.
guy.
I love
That guy is
shows.
legit.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. Fun
Nice.
fact for you.
Oh yeah, see you throwing out all kinds of stuff. But no, I another thing I did like about Scream 3 is how they died in the order of the script. Even though there was like multiple scripts, but I thought that was clever. It's like, oh shit, who dies next? And they
That's
can
the
kind
red
of like try to
herring.
like huh?
That's the red herring that was done in
Yeah.
in Scream Two, where they're going with
Mhm.
like the order of the murders and
Oh yeah, the murders from the first film. Yep. Yep.
there's a
So that was
theme.
that.
There's a theme
Yeah.
of that.
Yep. That was that one. Yep. And then the whole what else was it that I liked about it? I don't know. I like the characters. Oh, Carrie Fisher, she was in it. Which that when the two Gales, she was like, oh, the whole Princess Leia thing.
She
She
did
was in
some
it.
rewrites.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did
Oh,
some
I didn't know that.
rewrites. I've
They all of
never
Scream 3
seen
was rewritten, it
other.
seems.
Yeah, I mean, you bring in Carrie Fisher, and she's like, "I'm Leia. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say I'm gonna make a jab
Yeah,
at
yeah,
George, I'm gonna jab at George Lucas here."
yeah.
so, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and then the whole, The killer reveal. What was that? What did you think of that when that first happened? Where his whole talking like, "Oh, I'm your brother. I tried to go, find her. Couldn't find her because her name's really Marie." And
Same reaction that Sydney had in the movie.
yeah, she
You look at
she looked
you look at her
bored. She's like,
reaction.
"Really,
She was
really?"
like who the fuck are
Yeah,
you?
she
That was
did.
her reaction. She's like, she's been through this before. She had to deal
Yeah,
with
she
like
did.
four killer reveals.
Hmm.
Here's this guy, and she's like,
Yeah, she's like, "I've heard
who
this
the
shit
fuck
before.
are
Can we get this
you?
going?" Yep.
Exactly. She's like,
Yep.
who the fuck are you? Everybody in the
Yeah.
theater has that. She's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said like
And then you
there's
have
like
the weird scene when he went after Dewey with the whole the knife. He was super precise with that, hitting him in the head, and he rolls down. Oh, Dewey! But yeah, what
that's
do
what I'm
you
talking
think of
about.
that?
That's what I'm talking about, like the leading into the goofiness. Because if
Yeah,
this
it
was
was very borderline scary movie. Scary movie too.
because if this was, I'm pretty sure that they would not have done that
Hmm.
without leaning towards the. It probably would have actually stabbed him or got him or
Oh,
something. You
okay.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
it would have
yeah,
got him. He'd be like, oh god, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It would have. Yeah, that's just showing where they were like making it more comedic. No
yeah.
bloodshed. Because you realize there's really no blood in Scream 3.
Just like puddles, I guess. I think
Like
when
literally, like, oh, I got a cut here
yep.
or
And then when
there.
he died outside by the pool,
Yeah,
Tyrone or whatever, he was bleeding out a little bit.
I
I
liked
like
him.
him. He
I
was trying to
like.
get the hell out of there. He said, "I'm out of here." He
Oh,
still, yeah.
you
He was like, "Fuck
motherfucker!
y'all, I'm
Oh, you
gone."
mother! Oh, I love that. I love that. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
I love
he
it
was great.
when the partner is questioning
Hmm.
Angelique. Was it Angelique? Angelique? Yeah, 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 the one who's playing Sydney in Scream 3.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
What,
the
what,
the short hair, the one who
it's
said
like,
that she slept with the guy to get the role.
yeah, but when the partner's questioning her at the
Hmm.
lot after Sydney gets
Yeah,
attacked,
yeah.
uh, he's like, so did you take the mask or did you steal the mask? He's like, I didn't
Oh,
take
yep.
shit. And he looks at him he's like, I didn't take shit. I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I didn't take shit. I was
Yep.
like, don't look at me. I didn't take shit. I was like, I love
Yeah.
him so much. It was one of those things I was like, it was like, I would not mind seeing him again, but then
Hmm.
they killed him off, you know?
They killed him
So,
off. Yeah.
so I was like, how you gotta kill off the characters that we attach to a
Yeah,
little
he was
bit?
funny. Uh, One thing they
The,
did show, they brought Randy back in a sense of that videotape. I want to ask you about that. How he gave her the rules of the trilogy he gave to Martha, which does show up in Scream 5. But yeah, she showed Sydney in the tape. I know that's your yeah, yeah.
That was
We're
an
gonna get I can't
apology. That was an
yeah,
apology. That was a
yeah.
hey guys, we're sorry.
Hmm.
We were trying to be, original and clever and
Yeah,
killing the character that you didn't think we were gonna kill,
yeah,
but we kind of screwed up. So
yeah,
here you go. Here's our apology. You know?
yeah. To give him he's still in it, but yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like Randy. I wish yeah, when he went out, I think that's the kill in part 2 that probably got me the most. I didn't think he was gonna die. I thought that he would make it further again. I thought all these other characters were gonna go, but I didn't think he was gonna go.
There was
Honestly.
there was the moment that I knew it was gonna happen when they did yeah, I'm getting emotional with it.
Oh.
They did an overshot, and you see
Yeah.
just little old Randy by
Mhm.
himself. Nobody's
Yeah.
around. Everyone's just scattered
Yeah.
away, and I'm like this. I was like, "Shut up, Randy! Shut up,
Yeah, he's
Randy!
on the phone call with the
Shut up,
killer,
Randy!"
yep.
He's getting all like, "We'll be one of the big boys, Bundy,
Yeah.
Vincent, OJ." He's
Yep.
like, "Shut up!" No,
Yep.
and then they got him. They got him,
Yep.
and oh, Miss Loomis kicked his ass.
She did. She was
That was Mama
oh,
Bear
she kicked
strength
him
right
up.
there. That was Mama Bear,
Mhm.
like my
Yanked his
point.
ass in
My
there.
point.
Yep.
There's no question that was Miss Loomis. That was Mrs.
That was
Loomis.
Miss Loomis, 1000%. I
Yeah,
think she mentions it too,
she got a
toward the
little knife
end.
happy. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yes, there you go. That's what she said. There you go. Yep, she
that
did.
was Mama
Yep.
Bear strength. Mama Bear
She was
strength.
oh, that's a good killer. We gotta rank those killers. But yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so Scream 3. So that's at the bottom of our list. So ready for Scream 4?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Reboot. All right, so Scream 4. So I was super excited when this was announced. Like, I thought it was over. They wanted to end it with Scream 3, which had an awesome ending, by the way. I don't know if you remember how it ended, where they, Sydney's like over it now. She killed everybody. Everything's supposed to be over. Her brother's gone, where it all started. And then they go have like popcorn and watch a movie. She locks the door or closes the door, and then the door opens as she's walking away. Remember that scene? And then
I
she just
like
looks
that.
at the door and then just turns back around. I love that ending. Isn't that a great ending?
I love because it's like the whole like I'm walking away from the fear.
Hmm.
I loved it. I love the. That's what I'm saying. There's parts in 3 You
Yeah.
know, well, it's actually funny. It's like when Sydney comes back,
Yeah.
we're back on track to a Scream movie.
Yep.
So when she comes back, it's like, hey, we're a Scream movie again.
Yeah.
You know, not the wacky adventures of Dewey and Gale.
And
You know,
Gale, which was fun to see, I guess, to get more, you
like I
fell in
said,
love with them more too.
yeah. Well, I should say I have admiration for it now because it's one of those like I love that there's something there for me to watch,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
more.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
like Rocky Five. Everyone hates Rocky Five. I didn't like Rocky Five. Now I love
Yeah.
Rocky Five because guess what? There's no
Okay.
more Rockies. I love
Yeah.
it. Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't have any more Rockies.
So got it.
You know, that's all it is.
Okay.
It's like the runt of the litter, which you kind of go like, oh, I love you now, because everyone else grew up and left.
Yeah, because
That's all it
I
is.
feel like every time I rewatched it, I found something different that I liked and disliked. But yeah, Scream
Yeah,
3, yeah, it's still fun. It's still,
it's still
part
fun.
of the
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so Scream 4, I was super excited when it was announced. I was like, where are they gonna go with this one? So yeah, so I guess she wrote a book now. Out inside, what is it, Outside of Darkness, or what the fuck was it
Stepping
called?
out of darkness.
Outer Darkness.
Stepping
Yep.
out of darkness. I think.
Stepping
Yeah,
Out of Darkness, something like that. Outer
yeah.
Darkness. Yeah. They'll probably correct us later in the comments if we got that, all wrong. But yeah,
Like we're
but
shooting from the
yes,
hips, guys. We're shooting from the hips. I got questions.
yeah,
I don't got notes.
yeah, I didn't
Shooting.
on my phone. Anyways, yeah, so we have yeah, she comes back from a book signing or so in Woodsboro, but then someone else has picked up the mantle of like killing people and trying to make this whole reboot of the first one. So yeah, and the opening scene, I want to ask you about that. What do you think of that opening scene? You had the two girls, the one chick from 90210, the reboot, and you had the girl from Pretty Little Liars, the whole Channing Tatum's catfish picture, slit their throats, and then it jumps into fucking the True Blood girl and Veronica Mars. She stabs her, and then it jumps into the real opener. I know with the two chicks from Disney Channel or whatnot,
It's like having an
Marnie and
energy
Sugar
drink
Chick.
and having a
Yeah,
cup of coffee right
yeah,
afterwards. That's
yeah.
the opening of Scream 4.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
It was like stab 6 and 7, and then it reached because I guess those are from the movies, and then it went into the opening and the whole they made all these little things about, oh, you don't have the voice changing app, like there's an app now for this, you can make your voice sound like this. um yeah, and then they, the two girls die. I wish they used the deleted scene because I guess that whole opening was a bit more brutal, or
Yeah.
like when Dewey went to the house, wasn't like she was hanging, there's blood everywhere and her guts are out or
Yeah.
something. The
Yeah.
Marnie chick, uh yeah.
Well, yeah, there
Then
was
the other
like
girl,
yeah, it was a little bit more. They showed more of what
yeah,
happened to the other girl. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because the other girl, I guess, I know Emma Roberts wanted to kill her ass because I guess as the story goes, all about Trevor. Like, oh, is Trevor calling you? Is this Trevor? Because I guess they were a couple. I guess he was talking to that blonde chick, and she killed her ass because she didn't want that competition. Because I guess that was her like a love interest. I don't know,
Well,
but
it was like the scenario of like, I need to start this killing spree.
yeah. So why not kill the bitch that was trying to take my man?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Like
that's for that.
that's yeah.
Reason why they were like the victims at the beginning. So yeah. So
It
yeah.
was
So
also
watching this,
it was
yeah.
also like a hint that she was the killer when you break it down
I didn't.
later.
Yeah, because when the movie was first released, they had like an outline for a new trilogy, so 4, 5, and 6. So I thought Emma Roberts, Hayden Panettiere's Kirby, I thought they're going to be like the new, cast, and the new legacy
Yeah.
characters going to be there to like pass the torch in a sense, which I thought was going to happen. But I guess, yeah, when we found out that she's a fucking killer, I had no idea. Like when I watched that, I was guessing all these people. I did not think Emma Roberts was going to be the killer, which is why this movie is so high on my list, and the killer, the psychotic ass killer, like we talked about earlier. I don't know. What did you think? Like, did you get any red herrings that Emma Roberts could possibly be one of the killers?
Well, it was one of those weird. I had a different approach. My fear was not that she was the killer, is that they would kill
Okay.
Sydney and replace it with her. Because I was
Oh, I
like, because in
see.
my mind I was like, who is this vanilla bitch thinking she's going to replace my Sydney? That's my
Yeah,
Sydney, you little vanilla bitch. Get the fuck away
and
from my Sydney.
they set that up too.
I was like,
Yeah, because
I
like
was
the
like,
whole like movie, like Sydney was like watching her, and she was like, "Oh," she was like, remember the scene where she was like staring at Emma Roberts? She's like, "Oh, you just remind me of me." Remember that? Like they were
yeah.
setting it up, and she loved that. No, inside she was just like jumping for joy. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be
That,
you
that,
soon." But
I was being a mama bear right there. I was like, you get
yeah,
away from my Sydney with your bullshit.
yeah,
You
yeah,
die a horrible death over here and you leave her alone. You know,
yeah,
that's where I was. I was like, I was so scared. Like, don't do this. Don't do
yeah,
this. Please don't. Please, God, don't do this. But yeah, but when, when, when she flips, man, when she
yeah,
flips, I was like,
Oh yeah, that was
ooh,
insane.
she's a stone cold bitch. Not just like, like
Mhm.
a vanilla. She was like,
No,
oh
she was.
damn.
She shot old Trevor in the dick. So you don't ever cheat on my ass. She
I was
did. She
like,
killed
why
Charlie
you
was the
even
other
what?
killer.
How you gonna explain that?
Yeah.
That was my one thing where I was like, you shot him in the dick. That was your whole like,
Mhm.
yeah. I was like, I
Yeah,
shot
she
him in the
was
dick. I was like, did you aim wrong?
yeah,
Maybe. I was like, damn.
she was crazy. And now every time I think of Scream 4, I always think of Emma Roberts like being the killer. And I always forget about Charlie, who was the second killer, the one who had the crush on Kirby. I love
We,
Kirby, so if a
we,
character that I would connect with most, and that was definitely her. Love, love, love Kirby, and
we
yes,
together
love
on
Kirby.
this. We
Yeah,
together on this.
yes, yes,
Justice for Kirby. All right, justice for
for sure.
Kirby.
And we kind of got that. I mean, did you see in Scream 5 on the YouTube when you've seen the silver chrome mask and you
Yeah.
see her? It says Kirby interview with Kirby because she survived the murders.
Well, who was actually played by Matthew Stu. He was played by Stu. The
Yeah,
guy in
Stu.
that.
So Stu
Yeah.
was actually the voice of that. Another
Yeah.
voice that I don't know if you know was in the beginning after the Modesto scene, after the Terra. I'm sorry, hitting this after the Terra thing, and then they went to the Modesto scene where they called her, said, "Oh, hey, Terra was attacked." The scene after that, when the kids are all at the benches, if you listen
Yeah.
to the voice on the intercom, the principal, that's Drew Barrymore. Isn't that cool? Or did you know that?
I know
Yeah,
that.
it was so cool. Yeah, it was Drew Barrymore. She did the whole tension class or attention. And when I rewatched it this fourth time, I listened to it. It's all shit. That is her. So yeah, if you ever watch it again, keep an eye out for that at the picnic tables
There's
before you
so
meet the new
many.
cast.
There's so many cameos littered throughout the entire
Yes,
movie.
throughout the whole movie. And I wrote some down, so we're gonna get to those soon. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, but Scream
but
4, yeah, so Kirby, I loved Kirby a lot. Olivia was the other new character. Her death was brutal. Like her intestines were all out. And remember the room when she was across the way? That whole scene where they're like, "Oh, I'm in the closet," and she was in the other closet. That got me.
well,
Remember that? That was like,
that was a clever thing about the movie. That was like where it was
mhm,
like did like like I didn't say it was your closet. Like, it was like
yeah. He
But
pops out of Miss Olivia's closet.
that was Wes Craven saying, "My hands are tied on Scream 3.
Hmm.
I'm gonna like
Yeah,
rank
he
up
went
the
all out
goal,
on this
the
one.
gore." He was like, I was like,
Yeah,
damn, man, like
blood was everywhere. Yep.
I was like, it's like he took time to go like this. The killer was just like, I'm gonna throw this here. You still alive?
Hmm.
Just
Yep.
threw. Just
That was
did.
that was old boy Charlie.
It was like he stopped killing and just started throwing stuff around the room. I was like, what the hell are you doing? He's painting. It's like he was painting he was literally painting the room. Like,
Yeah, basically, the blood was everywhere when Sydney went in there, and yeah,
yeah.
she realized all this shit hit the fan. It's happening again.
And I love that Sydney like
Hmm.
runs over there in that part. The
Yeah,
fact
with no fucks, she was like ready to go fight, and she did. She
she,
kicked him. She threw him down the stairs. Remember, she kicked him in the face. Like she's a fighter now. She was ready.
I was like,
Hmm.
after 3 movies, girl, you finally went
Yeah,
and took a self defense class and utilized
yeah,
it. I was like so like happy that she was like, karate chopping this son of a bitch.
yeah. Super.
So
That movie made me super excited. And I loved it. It got trashed a lot. Like I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people did not like Part 4 like
well,
at all.
because
I even like when. Huh?
it was so meta that people didn't even realize that even the way that it was filmed was
Yeah,
commenting on the remix. Because you know how it's kind of like really bright and like
it
really
was
like
very bright.
sort
Yep.
yeah, because that's what the remakes were doing. They were taking
Yeah.
these dark movies and making them very bright. It was like all like it was
Yeah.
the meta ness and the commentary on the job of the movies that are being made at that time
Yeah.
was very on its sleeve, you
Yeah.
know. So it went over a lot of people's heads, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Eh." So
Yeah, I
that's
liked
why.
it. I liked the kills were good. Like I hated the chick, the one that was working with Sydney that didn't even read her book. Remember she died in that parking
Oh, that was
garage? She
Allison
was
Brie.
annoying. I'm so glad she died. Yeah, I forgot.
Allison Brie. Yeah,
Yeah, her. Yeah,
she was
I didn't
supposed to
care
be
for
the
that character so
replacement of
much.
Gail. Yeah,
Oh yeah, she was the new Gail. They had a little exchange, and Gail's like, "Oh yeah, I still got it." I love Gail. Let me tell you, Gail for me, I like her wit. I like her sassiness. Like I love Gail, and I was hoping she didn't die in 5, which I was really happy she lived. Russell wanted her to die. He thinks she looks like the Crypt Keeper. I felt so bad, but he did. He's like, she looks like she's dead already, and she came back to life. I felt so bad. She looks
well,
good. I like her.
she
I'm
old
Team Gail.
Russell. She old.
Yeah,
She was
Russell was.
She needed to
Russell.
die. You know,
Russell.
I'm not on camera. You weren't supposed to mention
Russell.
me.
Russell.
What?
Russell. You listen to me. All right. You leave her alone. All All right.
Yes, thank
She
you.
was
See,
in Masters
you
of the
beat us out
Universe.
on
Wrong
Masters
character
of the
died.
Universe, sir.
we're
No.
getting
She's been
there.
around a
All
while.
day.
What?
All right, I'm leaving again.
Leave,
But
Russell.
anyways, yeah, so I just want to
Shame.
make that little side comment. Yeah, Gail is amazing. I love all her little quick wit. So she had a lot of cool moments in that movie too, like with the kids and like she's trying to work with the new students, like try to figure this all out. Her exchange with Judy, with the whole lemon bars thing, they taste like ass, and then the whole Dewey dynamic. I don't know. I love Gail, and Gail was kind of good in that. I liked when she put the cameras in that party that she went to, the little stabathon, I think it was called, when all the kids got together to watch all the stab movies. That scene was cool, and I was scared for her there because I said, okay, is she gonna die? The trailers alluded to that in that one. She got stabbed like in her shoulder again, but yeah, I don't know. Scream 4 had a lot of moments I liked in that one.
I mean, there was a lot of like I said, like I love the original facing the reboot slash remake, cast. I love that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I, and I Jill is up there as a really freaking psychotic. I still the whole knife in the shoulder thing where she knifed herself.
yeah, and then she threw herself back on the table. She fucked herself up, and then she messed up too because after all that happened, she almost killed Sydney. I feel like they all went to the hospital because this is like the end of the end. And then she's talking to Dewey, and she says, "Oh, me and Gil have matching shoulder wounds or whatnot." And then he was so stupid, and he goes back to Gil. He says, "Oh yeah, she mentioned like your shoulder stab." She's like, "How does she know that I'm stabbed in the shoulder?" And he's like, "Oh fuck, there's your Dewey." Yeah, he ran back. Yeah, so that's where the end. That was great. Then when she tried to finish it, she went to Sydney because she found out that Sydney was still alive, and she wanted to go finish the job at the hospital. She's like, "Oh, the movie wasn't supposed to end here," and then that was brutal because Sydney got fucked up there too. Like she like hurt her like where her stab wounds were. The blood was coming out again. But I love how they fucked her up though. Like they used that little thing on her head, fried her brains, and then the bitch didn't want to die. She still got up. And then one thing you forgot about the original that don't fuck with the original.
Don't fuck with the original.
Perfect. Whole theater went nuts. Like it was amazing. It was a great theater experience. Great ending. Sydney's amazing. She's arguably my favorite final girl. She probably is my favorite final girl.
Well, yeah, you answered my question. I was going to ask you before this is done, but
oh really? Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you what because we're on 4, and the fourth movie is maybe it's Sydney's last main role. She just comes in the fifth one, but since the Scream 4 is Sydney's last main role, I got a question for you.
Yes.
You may have already alluded to your answer right now. Laurie Strode or Sydney Prescott? Who is the Scream Queen? Who is the Scream Queen?
I'm gonna get canceled. I don't know. I would, for me personally, I love Laurie Strode. Halloween is great, and I liked her arc on H2O where she was like, so the first 2 movies, she's all scared, timid, didn't really fight back. You got H2O, and I remember seeing that in the theater, and the whole crowd stood to their feet clapping when she chopped his head off. And that shit was ruined by Resurrection. And I don't know, Laurie's great. I love Laurie. I liked her story arc on that. H40 is okay, that storyline. She's still badass as hell, but I do feel I would probably pick Sydney. I feel like she's went up against numerous people that have tried to kill her family, friends, boyfriends, and she still seems normal, sane. She's not up here, having kids that she's training to go fight some unkillable killer, and she's just trying to live her life and keep that stuff in the past, and she still seems sane. I don't know, that's a strong person. I don't know. I'd pick Sydney.
I picked Sydney for the very obvious thing that you just alluded to, which is Sydney has never died.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she died.
Laurie has died twice.
Yeah, she has. Yep.
She died by a car accident in the original timeline, and then she died in Resurrection.
Oh yeah, for the 4 and 5. Yep, because I remember. Yep.
She's died, and who knows? She might die 3 times coming up in next October. So hey, Sydney's never died. So I go with Sydney.
Yeah, so Sydney is definitely my favorite out of those 2.
Yes.
And last thing I wanted to mention on Scream 4, it was supposed to be a whole new trilogy, and I was reading an article recently, I guess it came out, I can't remember where I found it, but if I find it, I'll probably send it to you. But basically they were talking about how Kevin Williamson said it, how he wanted Scream 6. I guess she would have got away with what she got away with, and Scream 6 would have been her in college, and the killer was going to come after Jill. It would have been Scream 5. Yes, I'm sorry. It would have been Scream 5 if we didn't get the Scream 5 we got, and they continued with the Jill and all that. But anyways, I guess she would have been in college, and someone knew about her secret that she was the killer from the Scream 4, and they were coming after her from there. So what do you think of that? Does that sound kind of cool? Like the killer knows that she's the killer, so they're attacking her and her friends at college.
So it's like,
but I don't know if Sydney was dead there or not, or
no, she had. I heard about this. She had amnesia.
Yeah.
Because of
There
the
you
trauma. The trauma from
Yeah.
because she couldn't remember what happened.
Yeah.
They even said it in forward. So she might not remember. You might not help her.
Oh yeah, they
remember
did.
what
Yeah, they
happened.
did say that. I don't remember because
because they threw an audible where they're like, yeah, let's end it.
Yeah.
But she's gonna have amnesia, and like you said, like it was gonna be, she goes to college, and then a killer starts killing people. So it's like a weird like killer versus killer thing, which I thought would have been something new, and I would have liked to have seen it played out. I'll put it that way. I was like,
I was super intrigued by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was going to be the Scream 5. I don't know how it would have ended with 6, but that would have been kind of cool. A cool little different storyline, and see where that would have went. But yeah, Scream 4 was awesome, and now we have 10 years later, we have Scream 5, which actually is like 25 years since the first movie. So yeah, let's get into it. So Scream 5, you did see it opening weekend and everything, right? Did you have like a packed theater?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you did? Were they all like super into it? Like you said, you were into it, like
nope. I was
cheering
I was the obnoxious one in the group.
Okay.
My wife was constantly going like, "Stop embarrassing me."
Oh man, see that sucks because I wanted that when I first seen it. There was a good crowd when we went to go see it, but it wasn't like that. When I see it the second time with the family, there were people that were like clapping. People were super sad on the Dewey situation. I'm trying to get to that. They were like, my mom was. She actually, when she seen it, she was, because my mom likes the Scream movies too. Since we were kids, she would watch it, and she was mad. She looked at me. She says, "Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this anymore." Like, cause Dewey died, and I was like, "Oh," like she's like, "You're gonna kill him?" She was shocked, cause she was all happy. He shot think it had to be Amber, because he shot her ass, and then everyone was like clapping.
Wait, I have a theory on that one.
Why? Because of her height, and it was somebody else?
No, I think it was a third killer.
But then she mentions it at the end, like, "Oh,
no." She said the last thing he saw was me.
My face. Oh, yes. You're right. Yeah, last thing he saw was my face. It would be kind of cool to take out. If you want to take out Gail,
if you bring somebody else into it.
Yeah,
because they're fans. There could be other ones. There could be, a little like Chickaroo
pop up in Scream 6. But let's get into the new characters real quick. I want to run through each of them. I want to see what you thought. So let's start with Sam. What'd you think of Sam? The new final girl, Billy's daughter, Mrs. Loomis's granddaughter.
I did not have an issue with her. I didn't have an issue with her.
Okay.
I wasn't like 100% on board, but I didn't have an issue with her. Okay. I was more with her. Her scenes with Jenna Ortega. When it was ever her and Jenna together, that's when I was like on board with Sam.
Yeah, I feel like in those scenes though, like I felt like Jenna Ortega like outshined her in the acting book. Like when she told her story about, "Oh, I was 13." Like I was telling Russell and them the other day or yesterday, like I just rewatched it before I came to hang out with them, and like her whole face was the same. Her voice went up and down a little bit, but like it was just so flat in one note for me. For the acting, and when seeing her against Jenna Ortega, who was going up and down, she was sassy, mad, happy, like all in one scene. I was like, what the hell? She told the bitch to get the fuck out, and you could see it on her face. Like I believed her. I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. But I think that when they were together, she super outshined her, and I felt so bad because she's supposed to be the final girl. It's supposed to be the one that everyone relates to, everyone connects to, and could like, I don't know. But Sam, for me, I didn't dislike her per se, but I feel like she was a little one note.
Yeah, I can't. No, I can't like argue that. It's one of those things where I'm like, I can't defend her, but I'm not going to be like, she's the worst thing in the movie. Oh my god.
No. Yeah.
It's like
no, I don't think so. I don't think she was the worst, and I think you needed that. I guess.
Now, given what she was supposed to tackle, it's a little bit like you're Billy's daughter. You're having hallucinations.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if maybe she was like, I'm going to play it subtle because there's a lot, it might just be, it might come off really hokey. So it's one of those, like, it might be just one of those, either a script issue or choices issue. And it was like, we'll just walk the line where we're not really committing to, one thing or the other. We're just going to walk it, and let the audience react as they will.
Yeah.
So
What did you think of the whole Dexter like dark passenger Billy Loomis like visual thing? Like, what do you think of
I
that? Because it caught me off guard. I was like, oh shit, it was cool seeing Billy
I
back,
was
I
like,
guess.
Billy's back,
I was
Billy's
like, this is
back.
great Dexter. I just finished the new season. I was like, yeah, the dark passenger. You know, you've seen Deb. I don't know if you see
Bubble butt Billy's back.
yeah, that
Bubble
part.
butt Billy's back. I was
The
like,
whole CGI to make him look younger and
I think I would have been a lot cooler if it was like True Romance, like when
okay.
Elvis shows up and talks to Christian Slater, where you just like he's just in the background, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
he's like being a little like because like when you hear his voice, you're like, oh, it's Skeet, hey
Hmm.
Skeet, you're back,
Yep.
just being just there, like just kind of like
Yeah.
out of focus a little bit because I thought that visually would have made more sense because she doesn't have
Hmm.
an actual relationship with him. That
Yeah.
this is this blurred idea of who her dad is, and then
Yeah.
becomes clear at the end when she goes all
Yeah.
psycho. I think
Yep.
it should have
Oh yeah,
progressed
that little
to a
that
clear
came out.
image.
Yeah, that came
Yeah,
out at the end when she fucked Richie up. Yeah,
yeah,
she said, "Don't fuck with the daughter of a serial killer," and yeah,
yeah.
I don't want it. But
I, that's why I feel like it should have been like blurry, more clear, more clear, more
mhm.
clear. Then boom, So we're not like
Yeah,
stuck there going like, "Yo, Ski, your teeth are really white."
yeah,
You know,
yep,
yeah.
yep. He was in the back seat. He was in the car window, and then he showed up at the end, like pointing to where the knife was. Yeah,
He's like, go
yeah,
make the winning goal. Sick. Good.
yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah, he's like, go make the winning goal. Damn.
All right. So, what'd you think of Tara, Sam's sister?
I'm on board, man.
Yeah, I
I
loved
was
her,
like, let's make it about her.
Miss Babadook.
Like, put the, like, if there's somebody who could, like, match Nev Campbell's, sincerity,
Hmm.
her character, and, emotional, you know, weight that she brings to scenes, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, she could take the mantle. I was like, Jenna Ortega, give it to her.
yeah.
Give her the franchise right there. Boom.
She went through it in that though. She got like fucked up the beginning. And she was in that wheelchair, and I felt bad for her. She was like trying to push herself out. She was bleeding again because she got stabbed like right through her hand, and then like he
Ah,
threw her on the ground. She's still trying to but she still fought back. Like when she hid in that room and she tried to hit him with the phone, but she ended up hitting Richie, and then she like threw that thing I don't know. She fought back. I liked even though she was like nearly dead. She fought to the very end. Like I don't know. I liked Tara. She was great.
though
And then her
people are,
last.
now that I say it, I was like, though Sam is supposed to be the Nev character,
Hmm.
it's actually Tara is the Nev character.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
you
she
can make a case
survived.
for that for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
You know,
She was great. And I hope they bring. I'm hoping they'll bring back for 6 because I'm gonna see where the story goes. Because like their mom, they brought her up a lot. Like she was like a drunk, and they mentioned that she's a town drunk. She told all the secrets about her being with Billy, and that's how they figured out that that was her daughter. So
I ha-
that storyline might.
I have no issue with Sam being Billy's illegitimate daughter
Hmm.
because
No, that's cool. I thought it was yeah, I thought it was
because
cool.
let's look at the facts here. All right,
Hmm.
examining one. What does Billy want to do the whole time? He wants to
He
have
wanted to
sex.
sleep with Nev. He tried.
He was the what's he doing in the video store? He's talking to the ladies.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he sure was. Yep. Because look when he's talking to Stu, you look over, he's talking to
Yeah,
this
I mean,
blonde chick.
he's all there like,
Yep.
hey, how you doing? How you
Yep.
doing? What are
Yep.
you doing later? I can make a pit
Yep.
stop before I gotta go kill a bunch of people. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, when that got started, I was like, yeah, okay, I believe it. I believe it. I
Yeah, for
believe Billy.
sure.
You know,
Yep. So Christine, so she might, I don't know if she has some dark past or something, but I don't know. That might come up later. I thought that was kind of cool. They kept bringing her up. And
yeah.
yeah. Alrighty. Next character. What do you think of Mindy? She was one of my new favorite characters. I loved Mindy. Like the
Now,
whole way through.
when you talk about Mindy,
Hmm.
you gotta talk about
And
Chad.
Chad. Yeah, the twins, the Randy's niece and nephew. I liked them both. He was funny. The whole Hobbs and Shaw thing when he was gonna go beat up Vince because I guess he had a thing with Liv and his whole
That,
scene when she wanted to go upstairs. She's like, how about we stay down here with the potential witnesses? I don't know.
that
They're
sold
both
me.
great.
That
Yeah.
sold me. For him
Yeah.
saying no to sex.
Yeah,
That
because
sold me on
I
Chad.
was surprised. I was like, wait, what? What is this going? But
It
yeah.
was the Mindy show before that, where it's like Mindy is
Mhm.
like the more Randy, but then you got like him he's like let's hold back a
They
little bit
both
here,
have a little
right?
Randy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but his is more like in action, where he's like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
because Mindy was about to go off and break rule number, rule
Oh,
number
with
two.
the chick.
Yeah, she was
The
about to go break a rule. She
yep.
was about to go break a rule. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Chad's like, and plus Chad he did like, when he was like being, with the phone and the app, where he had like
Oh yeah. We're
when
because
he
at the beginning
threw
of
it
the movie.
away, he was like, oh, I was like,
Yeah, because
I was
at
like,
first I was like, why do they have this? Because I forgot at the beginning of the movie they didn't mention it because she was like, oh, he wants to be my stalker boyfriend.
yeah,
She's like, oh, but you could be my stalker boyfriend because you can see where I'm at. So
yeah,
they finally got the app and it was actually the killer because Amber was right across from them, so she probably like, you know, put two and two together and got that. But yeah, I like how he threw that because it's like he couldn't. He's bleeding. He couldn't like turn it off. But yeah,
yeah.
no, Chad is cool, and I'm glad he survived, so we get to see more of that dynamic duo per se.
Well, like I said, they both got the Dewey treatment where they came out at the end like, oh, they're alive,
Hmm.
yay. They had that moment of like, oh, yay, we'll see them again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And next, I guess we can talk about Liv. She was barely in it, I feel like. But the girlfriend, did you ever think that maybe she might have been involved at all when you watched it?
no, there was she had red herring written all over her. She was
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
there
Yeah.
to play the part of like the plausible
Yeah.
deniability of other characters. It was like she
Because
was
Mindy tried to like
disposable.
push everyone away from like, oh, she can't be. She's boring. She's this. Oh, it can't be you. And she liked Stab 8. They mentioned Stab 8. She's like, oh, I liked that movie. She's like, of course you did because you have bad taste. Like so, so they kind of like try to push us away. It's like, oh, maybe she is the killer. Like she's gonna
Yeah,
surprise everybody.
yeah.
So yeah, her the actress I forgot her name. Liv's actress. Anyway, it starts with an A. I should Google it. But anyways, her birthday's today, and so is one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
directors, Matt. Matt, their birthdays are today, which is kind of cool. I just noticed that
Oh,
today.
I think this was like her
Screenwriters posted it.
first. Was this like her first movie or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like a singer or a model, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I was looking them up, it was something to that degree.
Yeah. A lot of these guys are up and coming. Like the girl who played Mindy, Jasmine Savoy. She's like in that new show Yellow Jackets,
Oh yeah,
which
she's
is doing
great.
really well for her. Yep. So she's been on it. Like these are up and coming people. They're probably going to
Yeah.
blow up soon. So it's kind of cool that they're part of this franchise. Yeah. So next up, let's talk about Vince. Vince was only like in like 2 scenes. He played like the badass, like he peed on a wall, and apparently he Stu's sister Stephanie's son. So that's Stu's nephew.
Well,
So what do you think about that?
he played the part of the misdirect. They
Hmm.
casted somebody credible and made it the whole like we're going after the original people involved in
Yeah.
Woodsboro thing, the connection to the Woodsboro. So like his character was just there to misdirect. At first you're like
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, he's look at him, he's bad.
Yeah.
And then he's related to Stu. So it was just misdirection. Not really. There wasn't anything to really comment on because he wasn't really in the movie.
Yeah. He's barely in
You
it.
could you could
Yeah.
literally go to the bathroom, come back like this.
You wouldn't. Yeah. You wouldn't think he was even in.
Yeah, exactly. You could
Yeah.
miss like who is this? Who is this nephew? What?
But I liked his death scene in a sense, even though it was just like a quick stab to the neck. But during that, the music played, the Woodsboro from the first movie, I don't
Red
know what the
right
name of the
hand.
song.
Red
Huh?
right hand.
There you go. Yeah, they played that. And I was like, oh shoot, it's like from the old movie. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so that was kind of cool that they brought that back. But
Because
yeah,
it wasn't in 4. They
it
didn't
wasn't
use
in
it in
4, but it was
yeah,
it wasn't in 4. Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of I like that part. But cool. Next is Wes Hicks, Judy Hicks's son, with the Backstreet Boys hair.
Now I think they made him blonde so nobody would think that was like Dewey's illegitimate kid.
You think
You know,
so?
I think they did it because like
But I think
because the actor has got black hair.
yeah,
And
he
so
dyed it, and I think they referenced it. Sam, when she first seen him when he went to the hospital, she said, "Oh, you did something to your hair," because I guess he had just
yeah,
bleached his hair, I guess. So yeah, so I guess that's something new he did, and he had a crush on Tara. So we've seen, and they played the whole. Usually in the horror films, you have like, the girl taking the shower. They used him
yeah.
as like the role reversal. They had the dude taking the shower, and
Now,
that was kind
now
of cool.
uh, wait, why is her name escaping me? Lemon
Marley
Squares.
Shelton.
Lemon Squares. Lemon Squares.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Judy Hicks, Marley Shelton.
She had the cotton weary death.
Oh yeah, when she was heading back. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
driving in a
He was trying to
car
get
and
his
high
ride,
speed
and
chase
then
back.
but that
Yeah.
made me jump though. When she was running, I didn't think he'd be like right outside, right behind a bush. He came up and just stabbed her. I was like, oh,
Something
Judy.
something about being a parent and that
Mhm.
idea that got me. I was like, oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
No offense, girl, you weren't supposed to survive four, and this is them saying it.
Yeah, she was supposed to die in part 4.
Yeah.
But she made it through. They kept her, and now she's in this one. That's why I thought bringing her back, because like I mentioned earlier about how she was in
Yeah.
that shadow talking to Sydney,
Yeah.
and it was very weird. I was like, was she involved in something? But no, yeah, she's gone now. But I do have a question for you, real quick, before we move on about
Yeah.
that one. I talked to Russell about this too. Do you feel like that she's a legacy character due to the fact that she was in a previous film that made it to this one, and it was 10 years ago? Do you think she's a legacy character in a sense, or no? Because they did joke about it in the movie. Because uh, Jasmine Savoy, Mindy, she told Wes, "Oh, well, your mom's, she's just in an inferior sequel or whatever. She doesn't count." So I guess people probably will feel like she's not a legacy character. But what do you think?
She is. She is.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because
She put in she put in her time. She came back. She
yeah,
could easily said no, and
yep,
she came back. She came back to die. Give her a
yep,
legacy. She came back. She came
yeah.
back. Yeah, and they
Even though
had
she got
like
axed.
because think about this. Anything that adds to the universe of Scream adds
Hmm.
weight and
Hmm.
history. Because even like Gail came up and said like, yeah, she didn't like me neither. You
Oh
know.
yeah, yep. She doesn't like me very much. She said, "Well, she didn't like
And,
me either." Yep.
and then
Just,
when Dewey comes up and he sees
hmm.
her, there's weight
Hmm.
there because she was in the other movie. So anything
Yeah,
that adds weight, emotional weight to the
yeah.
series, she's a legacy
I
character.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So, all right. So I think we went through all the new people except for the two killers, Richie and Amber. What did you think of them before we find out that those two characters were the killer? They had a lot of like
Whoa.
quick one-liners, like how she's like, "Oh, where were you?" It's like, "Oh, I was watching Netflix." She's like, "Oh, that's a good alibi." Like they had a lot of those back and forths throughout the movie.
They
Even
had
when they show, yeah,
they were good. I mean, they're
mm-hmm,
Randy Quaid. He's got his dad's charm. You
yeah.
can't. I mean, did I say Randy? I said Randy.
Oh, you
No,
said
it was
Randy. Yep, it's Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. It's a
Jack Quaid
Quaid. They're
plays
related. It's
Richie.
his uncle. It's
Richie.
his
There you
uncle.
go. Yep.
Uncle. I mean,
Yep.
they all got charm. I mean, come on. They got charm coming out of their freaking pores. So
Yeah.
he did a thing where it was like, you didn't want him to be the killer.
Yeah.
Because he was so charming. I was like, I don't want you to be the killer. I want you to
He
be.
even said to her,
But
like, he was like, "Oh, I had you believing all this stuff. Even your sister could be the killer." Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he was, upon rethinking of it, he was a little bit too like quick to like throw out the horror trivia.
What do you
That was
mean?
the first sign when he was driving. He's like, it was like, oh man, this is like that movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I thought you didn't
Yeah.
like horror movies, bitch.
He
That's what
didn't, yeah.
I was like, you motherfucker.
Yep,
So
yep. Okay, what do you think of Amber?
Amber, I was
She was
suspect.
psychotic right from her first scene. She was crazy looking.
She was the first one I was like, she might be the killer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then I
she
was
looked.
like, it's too obvious. But then again, if you look at Scream 1,
Mhm.
they tell you right off the bat who the killer is. It's Billy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
They
for
say
sure.
they say it's Billy. They say it's Stu in that fountain scene.
Yep, yep,
Randy's calling everybody out. He's
yep.
like so it's and also I thought that Tara and Amber had a. I thought it was going to be that they were boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean,
Yeah,
not boyfriend.
Tara
Sorry. I was
or
thinking of
girlfriends,
Wes.
yeah.
I was thinking of like this weird like
Oh,
love
I see.
triangle between Wes, Tara, and Amber. That's why I said boyfriend girlfriend. I was
Yeah,
like
because
they
Tara
were in a relationship
originally,
together. Yeah.
yeah, originally in the cast, bios or whatnot before when they were
Hmm.
casting, Tara and Amber were supposed to be like girlfriends. That's why when she was texting her to come over, let's have drinks and all that, that
Yeah.
was supposed to be them being a couple or whatnot. But no, I guess they didn't, unless they didn't say it, because they were really close. They so left this at Amber's house, and Amber was trying to make sure she was okay. Like, are you okay? So I don't know if that
Because
was a
that's
thing, but
I was like, why do you have her? Why do you have the inhaler over at her
yeah.
place if you're not over there all the time? Like
Yeah,
over there all the
exactly. So that might
time.
have been because that was, yeah, exactly. They didn't say it, but that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, Amber was, I don't know, she was crazy. But yeah. So what do you think? Okay, so we talked about all the new ones. So how did you feel when Dewey came back on the scene, Gail, and then Sydney? So let's go through them. So Dewey, what do you think?
I think Dewey had the besides Jenna Ortega had the
Hmm.
best performance.
Yeah,
He brought so much he brought so much like when you looked at him, you're like, oh, Dewey, what's up, Dewey? You were just
yeah. The
immediately feeling
trailer.
for him. Like I said, the history, the
Yeah,
legacy characters bring. The
yeah,
history of the entire series was right there on his face. Everything he did, the Tatum, ashes on the thing,
Oh,
the
I was
whole
gonna
like,
mention that. I
yeah,
didn't
it's
see that the
all
first time. By the
yeah,
picture, there was a box that said Tatum. They never talk about her again, so it's really
that
cool to see
got
that box up
that
there.
got me. I mean, and
Yeah,
it was one of those things where like
yeah,
I remember watching the end of the first movie when Dewey's being hauled out.
yeah,
I thought he said to himself when he was being loaded up onto the emergency into the
yeah,
ambulance. I thought he said, "I'm sorry, Tatum."
yeah. Oh, really?
I heard, "I'm sorry, Tatum," but there's no audible. There's no
No.
subtitles, no nothing. But for
Yeah,
some reason in my head,
yeah.
I put in the words, "I'm sorry,
I'm
Tatum."
sorry, Tatum. Yeah, because they don't I love Tatum too, by the way. It's the first one.
Yeah,
She was great. No, it's
and
cool
then
to see
remember,
that, and then I was shocked that he wasn't, I guess he became a drunk because they, like and I guess he moved with, Gail to the,
yeah.
New York or wherever she was, and I guess he just couldn't handle it, so he went back, so that's why now he still watches her every day, though.
Well, because there's still love. There's still love there. It's so
Mhm.
I'm getting emotional
Yeah.
right now. But
Even
but
when
then
she,
there,
like when she was like, oh, when she saw him, she was like, "What's your name?" I said, "I'm Gail," and then she looked over and saw Dewey, she says Riley, because that was her original last name, then she was like,
yeah,
"Oh, wait, Weathers," you know?
yeah.
Yeah, so they still had that connection, they had that little talk before, that crazy, what happens to sadly happens to Dewey, but they had their moment before
Well,
we get to that scene.
th- there's a mirroring like parallel universe thing uh
Mhm,
between Courtney Cox and David Arquette.
mhm.
They got interested in each other in the first movie. They
Yep,
were dating in the second movie. They
yep,
got they got married in the third movie.
yep, and that happened all in
And,
real life too, yep,
yeah, and then they were married, dealing with
in
married
part
life
4.
in the fourth. And then
Yep,
in the fifth one, they got divorced in between the time of the fourth and the fifth one and kind of dealing with life.
yeah,
And you could see that I love that they added that Dewey was the one that walked away because it was David Arquette's issue that ended the marriage a little bit.
yeah, so it mirrored real life. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
and
yeah,
that's why it's like, oh man,
yeah,
the to like allow that and to give to that and bring it
mhm,
there. It was like, and that like searching for redemption for
yeah,
Dewey in a way, you
yeah,
know, it was.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was the number one thing this movie accomplishes was like you could say it was going to the well, but when it brings up a whole lot of water, you're like, hey,
yeah,
hey, it was like with Dewey. I mean, like if they screwed up with Dewey, I mean, I
yeah.
might have a whole different opinion about the movie. So
So Dewey with that scene, how did you take that? When
his
he went
death,
in, yes, when he went in, he was like, they shot him. They're all excited. The whole crowd. When I seen it the second time, the
now,
whole crowd went nuts. Then he's like, "Oh wait, the head," because he always forgot that. Remember part 3? Sydney had to
yeah,
remind him, shoot him in the head.
Dewey, the head,
Yep,
what the
yep.
head? Oh,
So in this one, he thought it was like, "Oh, the head. I have to stop this." And then he has that
there's
moment. He reloads the gun. I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like
no,
a cool moment. Hmm.
there's something about that where it's like he made a decision.
Hmm.
And people like kind of they go like Dewey wouldn't do that. I'm like, this is not the same Dewey.
Yeah,
This is a Dewey full of regret. He's full of pain.
yeah,
You know, he knows that if he goes back, he knows that he's possibly
yeah,
walking to his death.
yeah,
But that's what makes the scene so hard because it's like
yeah,
he could die. You
yeah.
know, and he makes that decision because he's like he could have just run away and lived to fight another day, but he was like, I'm gonna go back and
Yep.
try to do this. And that's why because he goes against it. He goes
Yeah.
against the urge to run and get away, and that's
Yeah.
why it's like for the idea that he could possibly end this right now.
Yeah, because he wanted because when they first fought, he was like, "Not today," and he like, and that all happened. And then when he went back over there, the phone rings. It was Gail, and then the killer wakes up, stabs him, like rip. It was a brutal death too, by the
But
way. And then he says, "Yes, today," and then rips them both 2 blades. Isn't that crazy?
he fights back a little bit, and then then the second
Yeah,
blade goes in, and I was like,
yeah.
oh,
And then he
they were.
pulls them both up and then rips them out. That was the blood just going. It was crazy. Yeah,
I got so emotional in the theater.
yeah.
I was like,
I was like, "Oh, Dewey."
well, cause like I said, because of like the connection of like you watch a character from like 1996 and you're
Yeah,
there along the ride and you're like, oh, it's like watching an old friend because you just
yeah.
realize that there's going to be no more appearances of this character. You know,
Yeah.
a character that spoke to you, a character that maybe was a voice, and you got comfort out of. He ain't
Yeah.
coming back. It was literally like watching an old friend go away, and it was like, whew, you know.
Yeah, it was yeah, especially watching them all, and like, you're so connected to all three of these characters. Like,
Mhm.
did you going into it, if he didn't die, like if none of the legacy characters died per se, how would you have felt about that? Or did you feel like one of them did need to go in a sense to carry it and have more stakes, I guess, and not make it so Scooby Doo?
Wait, if they didn't die,
Like if none of them died and we did the movie and they all just survived again,
I'd be
would you
a
feel?
greedy bitch and be like, yeah.
Oh, okay. You just like okay, cool.
But no, but that's me being, like I said, a greedy bitch.
Hmm.
But they need to do it. It needs to
Yeah,
be
I feel
done.
like they needed to do it. I
It
guess.
needs to be done.
I mean, I didn't want any
So,
of them to go. Like, I was like, "Oh fuck, who's?" I didn't want Sydney can't go. Like, I would. Oh man, I'd be upset if Sydney died.
burn that movie theater down. I'd be like,
Yeah, but
I
between
dropped this
Gail and
gasoline
Dewey, I
for a reason.
guess. Yeah, one of them could have, I guess, gone. But it just, I don't know. It just sucked. So I don't know if yeah,
There's
we're gonna say
there's no reason to kill Sydney.
yeah,
Let Sydney go off into the sunset with her 3 kids and her McDreamy husband and live her
yep,
life.
yep.
Let
Mark
her be.
Kincaid.
Let
Yep.
her be. She's earned it. She deserves it. She's a strong female character in a horror franchise that
Hmm.
never compromised, that never was forsaken, that was never, exploited in any way.
Yep.
Let her be. You know,
Yeah. So what did you
Gail.
think?
That's a whole other story.
Oh, really? What what
She,
about Gail? So you'd be
I,
okay with her dying?
if they did it right, like I said, if she got the same
Yeah.
treatment as Dewey, yeah.
Oh,
Don't
I
just
see.
kill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like in the opening scene. None of that
Oh, yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, like a legit. She dies doing what Gail does, which is
Does
reporting the
exactly.
story,
Yeah.
capturing the killer. That's what I'm
Yep.
getting at. That's what Dewey
Yeah.
did, and that's why I was fine with it.
Yeah.
If Dewey died in the beginning of the movie, I would have been like, fuck this.
Yeah. For sure.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
it'd be like when Professor X died in X-Men Last Stand. I was like, I'm about to leave this theater right now.
Oh, the third one. Yep.
Yeah. I was
Blown
like, I'm
up
about
in
to leave this theater
pieces.
right now.
Yep.
I was like,
Yep.
fuck this shit. I was like, how dare you? But
That movie. I love the Dark Phoenix saga, but I don't know if they got it right yet in the movies. I like the cartoon version in the comics, but then the movies, it's yeah.
just watch Scarlet Witch,
There you go.
Wanda, and just think
Hmm.
Dark Phoenix, and
I'm
you're
excited
fine.
for that Multiverse of Madness. Did you see that trailer? Off topic, I know, but that trailer for that. Uh oh.
It made my nipples pop. My nipples popped. I was like,
Yeah, that looks. And then that quote she gave Doctor Strange, like being like, "Oh, you make one mistake and you're a hero. I make one mistake and I'm the villain." I was like, "Oh shit, what'd she do?" But I'm ready for that movie for sure. I'm
wait,
probably thinking,
did you watch WandaVision?
of course, yeah, she made that
Yeah.
whole freaking reality. I'm glad they're actually showcasing Wanda's powers because that
Yeah.
bitch is
So
powerful
so
as hell.
I'm a little like, wait, why are we confused here? Wanda?
Well, I'm confused in the sense of I don't know if that was what she was talking about or if there's something else that happens that she
No,
does.
not you, Wanda. I'm like, Wanda, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Wanda?
Yeah, because she
All
made
right,
a
you got
whole
your priorities in check
town
here. All right.
and had all these people under this spell. Yeah, it was yeah.
I was like, I don't know, you were raping minds,
Mm-hmm.
you
She
know.
was.
Not Doctor Strange is wiping minds. All right, there's a
Yep.
whole different ballpark here.
Yeah.
I was like, but that's still like, I'm like, it's gonna be like No Way Home Part 2 for me.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. And I like that character, Scarlet Witch's character. So I'm excited for that.
I
All right.
like that. I like that they're putting the weight on Doctor Strange to carry the new
Yeah.
phase.
Yeah.
So
Do you think it's gonna be like House of M? Well, WandaVision was kind of like that, kind of, sort of, kind of.
well, it'd be the next step where I think one is
Yeah.
gonna be like, you know what? I want
Hmm.
my kids.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So
So Scream 5. So yeah, so Sydney. So what'd you think of her when she came on, her parts? Because she was great in that movie. When she came in that door, like I got like goosebumps. So she was ready to go for fight, and she was like telling them, "Oh, you better come out." And she just starts shooting every door. And then she shoots Richie because he was the one that probably called her. And then he's like, "She's like, didn't I tell you to come out?" Like, and then the whole back and forth and the whole torch scene with Amber. I love that. Just enjoy that torch. I was like, she always has those great one-liners.
the evolution of Sydney's like preparedness for like
Mhm.
the situations, like having a
Yeah,
tracker and
yeah.
having a readily
Oh, yep,
available
something
gun,
Gil would do. Yep.
and just like saying like, fuck this, I'm just gonna start shooting because
Yeah,
I know
and
somebody's
before that
hiding somewhere,
yep, and before
and
that, when
shoot.
her and Gail walked up, she's like, "You ready for this?" And she's like, "For this? Never." And then the bitch runs out, Amber. She's like, help me!" And she looks at Gail. She's like, what do you think? Do you believe this?" And
I
then
know.
yeah, and she's like, exactly. And she was right. Like Sydney's amazing.
She was right about Richie too, because she actually shot one of the killers. That's the thing. It
Yeah,
was
she
like
did.
I
Yep.
was like, Sydney's like, that's why I was like, Sydney can't come back anymore because she's gonna get a shotgun or a
Yeah.
semi-automatic weapon and be like, oh,
Yeah.
you ain't
Yeah.
gonna get me, not today. That's
Yeah. No, yeah. I hella Sydney's amazing. So the whole movie was about requels. How did you feel about that and how the way they went about bringing in the requel vibe for Scream?
I mean, it's like I said, like Scream, Scream always comments on what's going on at that moment, and that's
Mhm.
what's going on. We got Force
Yep.
Awakens. We got the Jurassic Park.
Mhm.
The Jurassic Park series. Fast and the Furious. I mean, come on,
Yep. They
everyone's
all do
doing it.
that. Yep.
I mean, they try to veer off and they go back and do a course correct and come back over here. And this character
Yep.
was dead. No, we're actually alive. Over here, over there, over here,
Yep.
over there. That's how come. Like the idea of Stu coming back, I was like, after Roman, I'll take Stu. I'll take Stu coming back from the dead. All
Okay,
right.
because he wants to do it, and fans are really into this possibly happening. I don't know. I think he's dead. So if
I'm sorry. I understand how ridiculous it is, but after the Roman debacle, where they
no, I
did
get it.
not mention Roman,
No, I know.
this
Ever.
entire movie, they did not mention your long lost
Yeah.
brother who tried to kill your ass,
Yeah. 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 They didn't even bring him up.
which is like the most soap opera storyline the Scream franchises has ever touched.
Yeah.
Long lost. It's like after that, and we still made it to 5. I'm like,
Yeah.
we can bring Stu and see what happens. I
Oh
think.
man. I
I
wonder what
think.
that would look like.
I don't know, but I'm like, it's one of those like balls to the wall.
Yeah.
You go hard, you go home because if you try to like if Stu popped up, like surprise Sydney,
Yeah. like with
I'd be
yeah.
like, oh,
But how would that fit in with like the new cast? I guess I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that does. I don't know. We'll
well,
see what happens if they do that.
they're in talks with Neb coming back.
Yeah,
So
because she even said that if they did a sixth one, she would be open to come back again. So that paycheck was probably nice. But yeah, and I hope Gail comes back, and then if they bring back Stu, I don't know if she'll be in it as like a main character though. They'll probably have the Tara, the Sam,
well,
the
they gotta bring
twins.
back Kirby. They gotta bring back Kirby.
Kirby's gonna be back. Oh yeah, that'll be a stacked sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
I think Kirby sitting out of this one kind of makes sense. I think there's a lot going on to introduce too many other characters. I think
mhm.
bringing her back in the next one, maybe they're in college or something, or maybe they're all, I don't know. Well, that was
Well,
10 years ago, so she'd be older. I
if
don't
you
know.
if you think about it, the only two people that were in Woodsboro were the
Hmm.
Woodsboro people.
Hmm.
Seven Squares and Dewey. You
Yeah.
know, those people
Yep.
were like ingrained Woodsboro people.
Yeah.
Kirby, after that crap, I'd be like, I'm going to
She
go live
probably
in
moved.
Metropolitan City with a
Yeah.
shotgun,
She got the
hit
hell out
both
of
door.
Dodge. She was
Yeah,
smart too.
Gail
I
did the
love her.
same thing. Sydney did the same thing.
Yep. And I loved
It's
her scene in 4. I don't think we talked about it when he asked her name the remake, and she named off all of them. She went through them all. That was epic. I love that scene. And she says, "It's one
well,
of those, right?" And then he didn't respond. She's like, "I got him." And then she went out, and then Charlie ended up being the killer, and that's when he stabs her. And you're just like, "Oh, my heart broke there for
Charlie,
sure."
that fuck boy.
Yeah, because I didn't think I don't know. He was a boring. I don't know.
What
He's probably lower on the list. We gotta rank these killers soon.
the Kirby thing was like she's the unsung hero because as much as Joe was like buku crazy,
Hmm.
Kirby was just radiating charisma the entire time.
Yep. From the beginning.
Yeah,
I like the part 2 when they're like, "Oh, I didn't get a call. Does that mean I'm gonna live as long as these two?" Remember that?
I was just thinking
Yeah,
that.
remember that?
I was just thinking that, and then later
Yeah, I love that scene. She was just so
uh,
shocked. I was like, "Oh god." Yeah.
I love it
The
when she.
series.
There's that thing where Trevor is like all of a sudden when Trevor comes to Kirby's house when they're like the
Mhm.
after party, and
Yeah.
Trevor is just being annoying and bumbling
Yeah.
and not being a suspect anymore.
Yeah.
And she just looks at him and is like, did I just ruin something? When he cock
Oh,
blocks
yep, yep.
Kirby, and she's
Yeah.
just like, who invited? What are
Why
you
did
doing here?
you? Yeah, because they almost had their little moment, her and
Yeah.
Charlie. Yep.
I was so
She was great.
I was like, you just cock block Kirby, man. I was like,
Mhm. Yeah, I'm ready to see that energy and that, like you say, charisma in the next
yeah,
one. That'll be kinda cool. I
yeah.
don't know about the stew thing. I mean, we'll see on that. But,
Like I said,
yeah,
that is the crazy,
yeah,
you know, wild, if
yeah.
it happens, it's got to be the end of the series, boom,
Or
boom,
something,
boom.
yeah, to put
Yeah,
it, to close it off,
yeah.
from the very beginning. So out of the kills in this, did you have, like, a favorite kill or a kill that stood out to you
Uh,
in Scream 5?
Emotionally, it was Dewey,
Dewey. I figured.
but Wes, the way that Wes went with
Oh,
that
that in the neck, and it just sat there.
slow, slow, I was like,
Yeah, and it just
I,
sat there.
I felt that was an ode to
Mhm.
Wes Craven, you
Yeah,
know. So I thought that was like, I was like, the way he died, where he had to stare at
yeah,
the killer who's killing him slowly. That the
yeah.
idea of that is like, ah, so
Yeah, for me, it
yeah,
was Dewey. That I was yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Dewey for sure. And
Well,
then I
he
like
gets
the
like,
ending when Sam killed Richie and kept stabbing him, stabbing him. He was like, "What about my ending?" She says, "Here it comes." And she slits his throat. Like that was great. And then it's like, "Oh, don't forget the head." And she takes the gun and then shoots him in the throat. It was
yeah,
great. And then you had Amber just always come back and she comes running look like the bride of Chucky. And then you got Tara popped her in the head. And then she's like, "I still like the Babadook." I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." I don't know. I love that movie so much. Scream 5. That's why I think it's my second favorite. I don't know. It just I think it's because of the I don't know, the nostalgia of it and then
yeah.
not thinking we're gonna get another one because, sadly Wes has passed. And
Mhm.
yeah, and it was just so good. Like it was smart. I didn't a lot of things happened I didn't think could happen or would happen. And then having all the legacy characters back and to see Sydney again, my favorite final
Yeah.
girl, I don't know. That's why that one ranks so high for me. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I had fun with it. I'm on board. I'm along for the ride.
Mhm.
I was, I didn't have any issues. I mean, the only thing that is like the only issue that you could have with the movie is that it's not a movie directed by Wes Craven. You
Yeah.
know, there's a Wes
Yeah.
Craven movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so well
Yeah.
paced, and the flow is there. It's
Yeah.
so like, when you watch a Wes Craven movie, it's like there's really no like, how long is this movie? It's like the movie's over. It's like what,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's been an hour and a half. But it's like,
Yeah.
like, it feels like an hour because the
Yep.
movie, yeah,
Because you've been yeah, for sure. No, I agree.
because things are moving. So it's like, but
Yep.
other than that, it's like, you can't fault the movie for not being Wes Craven because Wes Craven's not, he didn't do it. So
Not
it's like,
here. And I like
but
how right when it ended, they put 4 West as the, 4 West
what
for the movie.
it's like you name a character Wes, you kill
Mhm.
the West, or you kill the character Wes, and then in the movie
Mhm.
they have a party for Wes, and then
Yep.
the sign in the background says for Wes
4 West. Yep. Yep,
in the
they have it all
movie.
throughout the movie.
Yeah,
Yep, and then it
yeah.
ended with it.
So yeah, so I was like, you got the feels for that. You're like, oh man,
Yeah, for
so
sure. Nice.
but
So, went through all the movies. So, how would you rank all the killers from best to worst?
best to worst. Well,
Yes.
you got to go with Bubble Butt Billy. Bubble Butt Billy, because he's the
Okay.
first. He's like, abandonment issues. Take care of your kids.
Mhm.
Cautionary tale. Stu. Stu is number two because
Mhm.
Stu, Stu, he needs to. He should have came. It's. I have a theory that Stu was gay and that he was
You
like
could
part.
be.
No, that's how he got Stu on board. He's like, just like
Yep, yep,
like that he was like in
yep.
love with Billy, and he went along for the ride, and that's what makes Stu
Yeah.
sad. It's like, Stu,
Yeah, I've
you
seen all those
crazy.
homoerotic, like, fan fictions about those 2 characters.
Well, he's all up on Billy's shit
Yeah,
like
all
the
the
entire
time, like,
time.
even in the
It's
video
like
store and mhm.
it's not a stretch because you're like he played him along. He's like, it's giving me and you killing people forever.
Yep.
Let's just stab each
He
other. Come
did.
on, baby. Come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, too
Yep.
much. Too much. Too much. You know. Number three is a little controversial.
Okay.
Mickey.
Oh, really?
I like Mickey. There's something about Mickey where is Mickey did all the heavy lifting in Scream 2, but the
Yeah.
way it was left, he did all the heavy lifting.
Mhm.
You know, Revealing wise, not so much. But when you
Okay.
think, because when you reveal them stuff, you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't seen you for like we haven't seen you for 45 minutes. Of course it's
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Because he was in the
And look at
beginning.
yeah,
He was at the
and
lunch table when they
he's
sing
doing
that
all this like
song.
like kicking a
Yeah.
cop and stuff. Like come on,
Yeah,
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 kicking
yeah.
cops. And he's running around like a madman. When he
Yeah,
takes off
yep,
that
yep.
thing, he looks like even like he did some work.
He
Sometimes
looks a mess,
they take
especially
off the
by the end of the
mask.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
he went through it.
like even
Yeah,
Roman, even when Roman takes his shot, he's a little sweaty, but like
yeah,
Mickey had
yeah.
cuts over his eyes. He's like,
And he was
you know,
solo apparently. That was yeah. Okay, so Mickey's your number 3. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Number
And
4.
then number 4 is Jill.
Okay,
I go with number 4 is Jill.
okay.
Yeah, and because we already talked about how she's crazier than
Oh, she's
crazy.
psychotic. That's
Yeah.
that she yeah, all that to be famous.
Yep.
I think that's
Oh yeah.
insane.
The
And
funny thing is, it's not too far off too. That's
mhm,
her motive is like is like the closest to like that could possibly happen,
yeah, no,
and
for
that is a
sure.
scary thing.
Especially today's time. And that was a little bit before its time. That was before the madness of like the influencers and stuff that we do have
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
That's the thing is,
this was a little bit before its time.
it,
2011.
the thing about it, if she got away with it, she would have her own Instagram page where she's
Yep. She'd
plugging
be
stuff
popping.
along the way. Like,
Yep.
let's put on our makeup today. Let's get ready for our
She'd have
day.
all this stuff.
Yeah, she'd do the
She had
whole
a
nine.
reality show. Yeah, she'd be
Yeah,
popping.
she would
Yep.
her boyfriend would mysteriously die. It'd be a whole
Yep.
weird ball.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then Mrs. Loomis,
Okay.
Mrs. Loomis, Mrs. Loomis,
Okay.
Mrs. Loomis. Yeah, for obvious reasons, crazy mama.
Yeah.
And I'm torn between these last because like Roman is the
I was
last
gonna say
one.
Roman. Yeah, you have Roman. You
I have
have
3 left.
Richie, Amber, and you have Charlie. I know.
Yeah, because those last 3 are like it's kind of like organized pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like
So the
who is
rest are
this?
just
Who is the
the
stinkiest
bottom.
of the bunch? I'm sorry. It's like I'll go with Richie, Amber, Charlie, then Roman.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, Charlie and
Because
Roman. I would definitely have those two
Richie
at the
did a
bottom.
lot of heavy lifting because like he
Hmm.
wasn't Amber. Her stink eye in the beginning made me think she might be the killer, but Richie playing the charm made me wonder if like he made me believe
Yeah.
that he
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't as the movie went
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Dewey guessed it right away. Like right when
yeah.
he seen him, he says, "Oh, how long have you known him? Has he shown any interest in the murders and all this stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, Dewey, you're good. He's done this enough." But yeah,
Yeah.
he guessed it, and then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's a good ranking. Like for me, I would do. I want to put Billy first, but I'm gonna put Jill first. I think she's crazy. She killed her mom. She wanted to do this all to be famous. The bitch is nuts, and I feel like that could
I
happen
can't deny that.
for sure. That woman is in what she did to make herself like stabbing herself. Like that bitch is crazy, and she flipped because she was like supposed to be the final girl, the nicey nice one, and you're rooting for her. Like, okay, I don't want her to die. It's Sydney's cousin, and then she turns out to be the killer. For me, that was insane, and I put her number 1. Number 2 is Billy for sure. All this has started with Billy. Billy was the main one. Then I'd go Stu for 3. You got to have them up there. And then 4, I would probably do. Let's see, who do we have left? I would probably do Mrs. Loomis. That bitch is crazy too. And I never guessed that would be a thing. I didn't know that was Billy's mom. She popped up a few times talking to Gail. Gail just brushed off each time, and she killed Randy. Your character.
Wait. She's like, well, all I was saying was that maybe the killer, the killer was from this world. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
that little delivery. Like
she was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do her as 4, and who's left? I'd probably do. Ooh, who's left? So Richie, Amber, Roman's last, then Charlie. So to fill in the blanks, I'd probably do Mickey for I guess Scream 2, and then I'll do Richie, Amber, Charlie, and then
our bottom is the same. Our bottom is the same.
Yeah.
Our bottom is the same. Our top is different.
Yeah, because I think I picked it more based off how I felt and how crazy I thought these people were and psychotic. Like Jill, for me, killing all her whole family and friends just to be famous is insane to me. That's the only reason why I put her first. Because I would have put Billy and Stu because that's where it started. I watched the movie multiple times. They wouldn't be this franchise if it wasn't the first movie. But Jill is just so fucking crazy. I had to put her higher. So
I respect it. It's just like it's attachment and like I said. Mickey's only up there because of all the heavy lifting he had to do in 2.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Mrs. Loomis was like, "Pow!" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Why'd you do that?"
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that your rankings change for the films, and I guess for different reasons. So after this whole conversation that we had about all this stuff, is your ranking still the same? I think you said it was 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, right?
I think I'd moved 5 into the 4th spot, number 2 spot.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay, you did. Oh, perfect. So it's like mine now.
No,
Yes, yes, yes.
I was surprised at how emotional I kind of got
Mhm.
when discussing certain elements of it. I was like, "Yeah, I moved up. I moved 5. I put 5 as number 2."
As number 2. Yeah, because they're
Yeah,
interchangeable. Like they're all great. I feel like that's what I like about this franchise. I feel like
yeah,
all the movies are good, and you can find good things in them. All the other
yeah.
franchises, they have some just like you still love them, like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. There's always one that's
Mhm.
just like even Halloween, which you wanted to briefly talk about. We could definitely get into that if you want. But
Halloween has like, what is it, like 1,
mhm,
2,
mhm.
3, 4, 5
Yeah,
technically different timelines going on.
yeah. There's a lot going on with that one for sure. Yeah.
That as much as I love the Halloween series, I cannot be
Mhm.
that it's a consistent series. Scream is a consistent series.
Yeah.
So